Hello, Internet. Welcome to our fourth arc in Terminal.
Session 21.
All right,
Yep.
name.
Dun dun
Name.
dun.
We need a name.
You guys do need to name the last collection.
I refuse to start this game until we name the last collection.
There are things you gotta
What are the
discuss with each other.
suggestions?
We did have some suggestions.
Which channel? Which chat was it in?
That wasn't just
I
Sentinels
think-
last up.
It was under
What do you
rules.
know?
Last
Oh.
off should be the final one, though.
I
Yeah,
feel
last
like
Yeah.
time
didn't we say like missed connections or something?
I was gunning for that one.
And
There were a
Misconnections.
couple
I
ones.
seconded misconnections.
Sins of the Father,
But they have to be trained related.
Arrivals. They need to be puns or on the train related to trains or the word
And then something
terminal.
else.
I mean, my thought for the third collection was late arrivals, missed connections, and delays of fate, because Satanic Shot was a late arrival. We missed so many connections, which led to problems, and we couldn't really. And we are attempting to delay fate ever so slightly right now, leading into the fourth arc.
Can we say?
Look, I was trying to subvert fate for that entire arc, which is what led to my character in this situation. But I feel like that's a little long.
It is a little long. I like inevitable delays better, anyways.
Inevitable delays and missed connections. Goodbye, capitalism.
But capitalism, we'll miss you.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a fan of missed connections as well, if we want to go with that.
Yeah, let's just go with misconnections.
Yeah. I like that one.
Ah,
Oh
great.
yeah.
Right now,
I need to still decide what it will be for me, but
Yeah, I haven't decided that either. What are the options again?
You can get a contact or a minion. You can have a +2 boost one of your rolls. You can negate a twist, or you can upgrade an existing contact or minion.
All right. What is the
Or
base level
existing boost.
What is the base level contacts?
D8, D6, D4.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm gonna get a contact.
Who's
So,
your contact?
yeah, we're not gonna know who. See, I was the. What did you
Come on,
take?
guys,
Ash?
you know who. the contact is.
I redid mine. So Nadia's gone. And I changed mine to base contact with Ali, negate a minor twist, and +2 to controlling the narrative for specifically causing chaos at the press stations.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Jitters as a contact.
Hell yeah, baby!
So I was debating taking Ali as a contact, but I think what I have to do now is I have to take a second negate a minor twist. So yeah.
I just like having it in case I want to use it.
Oh, I'm. The thing is, I don't negate twists. I like twists.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get that. I like them when they're interesting and when it's just something like, I have a feeling this is just gonna be like, something like take damage or be hindered or something. I'm like, not interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Not all of them can be bangers. Like that is not a fault of the game system or any way we're playing. I'm just like, if I want a twist, I want it to be twisty.
Yep.
Oh, so speaking of twisty twists, I was watching last session. For those of you who are listening in now and not actually never watched the screen, supposedly every single one of my arguments that I made while I was on trial led me to losing the whistle on that tracker, whereas all of you dug me out of that fucking hole.
I'm not surprised because we would all give testimony about the good you've done and and your character and how there were extenuating circumstances or some of these cases where you were inevitable, etc., etc. And yours just was like, "Yep, that is exactly what happened."
Yep.
I am so sorry I did a bad thing.
And as I noted in chat, this is why defendants usually don't fucking speak on their own behalf.
Yep.
Yep.
So true. I gotta also say 2 points. on that line of thought, I was thinking when Sean was like, "Oh, of course, yeah, this went terrible." I just was like, "Oh yeah," in closing defense, where I'm just like, "I'm gotta speak to character witness. I have no idea how I want to do this in character." I'm like, "Well, there's all these negative things that we could talk about. I do want to hammer in on this one point here." And then you talked, and you were just like, "So all these negative things happened. That's it. I rest my case."
Yep.
Good job, Izzy.
Fantastic job. 10 out of 10. I also really appreciate that in true Ace Attorney style, all of our witnesses were insane.
Yep.
We didn't even call the train as a witness.
No,
Given the nature
we ran
of
out
this
of
game,
witnesses.
insanity was the only option.
It really was. It really was.
Now I've got Phoenix Wright music stuck in my head.
As you should.
Yeah, it is fun.
Live, laugh, love, man.
Live, laugh, hold it!
Oh, that reminds me, I should get rid of all the pre-saved Phoenix Wright gifts in my Discord save folder.
You
Because I'm
should.
not needing
There,
these.
there might be another chance for you to use them. We don't know. You guys could make decisions.
I mean, I think I mentioned this. This is like the third or fourth time I have in a game ended up on trial. And I think Sean and Dan have been there for every single time that has happened to me in character.
I get
Excellent
the
job,
Princess
guys.
the
Excellent
Hopeful
job.
game I was not there for.
I was also not there for that one.
For which one? Oh,
Princess the Hopeful.
yeah.
Yeah, sadly, I was not in the Princess the Hopeful game because that would have been fun.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were there for Taryn. You guys
Yeah.
were in fact the trial.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
were we ever there for Terran.
Yeah, we really should have just pushed for the death penalty for you.
Thanks, Sean.
That lovely note.
There were a lot of terrible things that happened that game, and also drive-by arson.
Mm-hmm.
Arson was not a terrible thing that happened in that game.
No, exactly. There were terrible things that happened, and then there was drive-by arson.
I think
Arson
we can say
never
arson in
betrayed
general.
you.
I think in general we could say there were many terrible things in that game, and also arson, because there were other times arson happened, and arson was the only plan we ever had that was successful. The only plan that we did where things worked out were when we did plan arson.
It's true.
And
but
what I'm
like,
hearing is that if everything goes wrong, we should just burn down the city of Chicago.
Yes, exactly. Finally, someone understands.
Burn Chicago into Detroit.
I mean, look, what's another great Chicago fire here and there? It's fine.
Oh my
Funny enough, I was in both those cities in the last 2 days
Eh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
in real life.
Yep.
Not the boogeyman, you personally.
Me personally, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you guys like a lifetime tickets to Detroit if you want.
Doesn't that defeat the whole point of your no lifetime tickets thing?
Yeah.
He'll give you a lifetime
Didn't we
ticket.
just have the discussion
I
about
love
this?
how it's like immediately nepotism.
We're talking out of character right now. It doesn't count.
He can give you lifetime tickets that only go to Detroit, nowhere else.
Nowhere else. Only
And-
Detroit.
The worst lifetime ticket.
And anyone
Actually-
can get one. Anyone can get one.
I mean, I'm really,
If we're out of character, if you're going to give me a lifetime ticket to Detroit in real life, sure, why not?
I
I
mean,
want to see you follow up on this.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to sell someone a lifetime ticket to moving 5 feet to the left.
Does
I mean,
anyone?
How
Are there any
fast-
limits to how often we can
Yeah.
redeem it,
Yeah, that one.
and what the activation time
You have to
is?
get on the train for that.
Yeah, you have to get on the train and off of the.
Getting on and off the train seems to be a very quick process with you.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Also, out of character related, but does anyone remember the fact that there was like some airline that like offered lifetime tickets for like high level like business things, and then like within a year determined how horrible of an idea that was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes you say things you don't mean.
Because they went, oh, what person is going to fly more than 20 times in a year? Wait a minute.
The
Anyone.
people who heard about this and instantly went, sign me the fuck up, Steve.
Yeah.
In any case, game time.
Hooray.
It's game time. We're starting with yellow, which is to say, we're starting off with good spirits' next day at work.
Yay, capitalism.
I don't remember where we left off.
We found out the red tape was named Melissa Rigby.
All right, breaking and entering. I remember now.
Yeah. B&E.
You down for this, Red?
First things first, we're going to deal with the, quote, environment for this scene, which is good spirits having to go to work.
Which is a job.
Yeah.
That's also my turn.
Yeah. I'm also going to comment to you guys, like, I'm going to try to distract the red tape while you guys are breaking and entering.
Yep, but, work starts bright and early before the sun rises. Prime never sleeps. Why would you sleep?
I don't sleep.
But today is much more like what yesterday was for Good Spirits, which is a large amount of testing the limits of what contracts he can write and them trying to figure out how these things even work, who can write them. No, none of the administrators can actually write contracts that are enforced in any way magically.
Yeah, she can, which is weird.
Yes.
Which is why I'm trying to mess with this progress as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, the big thing is figure out what the limits are, what can or cannot happen with this. Because the red tape is still convinced that it makes no sense why she can write this and none of her administrators can when they're invested with, like, her authority from an office.
Which means she maybe doesn't understand exactly what she is what that tells me.
No. Oh, since I get a closer look at it, what is the writing on all of her tape?
So here's the thing, you probably don't get that much of a closer look when you're just sitting in the office doing paperwork and she's not using superpowers for things. Unless you want to make it overcome to try and finagle, like, things falling around or something else to get a closer look.
I will by the time we're done, but I have other dumb ideas first.
Sounds good. But yeah, today is much more the same, where she's basically ramming into a brick wall of none of her administrators can actually write these contracts. She does not understand why herself and good spirits are the only ones who seemingly can. At some point, she's going to muse about, can the mayor write them? Perhaps there's something else about this.
I'm assuming that they can't.
Well, I mean, that one's going to be a request of hers that we're going to deal with when you get into red. But in the meantime, what are the non-good spirits PCs doing during the day? Remember, you are still on a tracker for the end of good spirits' ability to cause problems with this process.
Again, breaking and entering.
Yeah, let's go with that because they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we?
Yeah.
But I cannot stress how much I do not know about breaking and entering in people's private property, but sure.
Yeah, it's not so hard once you get used to it. Come on, I'll show you the ropes, kid.
Oh, all right.
I'm a bad person.
I want to, out of character, remind you that this is the same person who jumped up, like, yeah, let's break into the mob's house. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Earlier with you during Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Not
that
a
was a
holiday.
good time, right? We had fun.
Yeah,
Shared a few laughs.
exactly.
All right. Okay. I guess. Am I able to? So how's this work? Am I making it just for me, or can I get us both in with a check here?
So the answer is the more overcomes you make, the more information you get. But
Okay.
like, yeah, right now it's probably like breaking. So whoever's doing the BNE is probably getting more basic information.
Okay. Which one of us is better at this?
I would be better at collecting information because I can use the principal for detective for that. Whereas breaking in, I don't have too many good skills that
Okay.
would necessarily be that great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna break in then. Let's find and root in. I'm gonna use invisibility and stealth, and I'm gonna invoke Principle of the Underworld because yeah, I was a criminal. I know how to do this.
Sounds fantastic.
And let's see. Do I want to use any boosts on this? Okay. No, I think I'll just roll straight on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no. Can I? How does a contact work?
You can just invoke a contact once per session as an extra action, basically.
Oh, just a straight out extra action.
It is a free action for a contact to do a thing for you.
Jitters is gonna boost me.
Yeah. You get Chitters to find you like her security setup.
Or like distract them at the gate or something. He's like, I like have a pizza deliver or something like that.
Yep.
So what Jitters is what 866?
864.
864.
864. Okay. Hold on. I guess I just have to roll that on the side.
Yep.
I don't really have a good way to set this up.
I made a hotkey for Marty's phone. I can send you one.
Okay. No, hold on. I've got it covered. I think I figured it out. I'm just gonna click a bunch of my random skills and just is the right dice combination.
Yep.
So
Fair enough.
Jitters is boosting me for a +1.
He's not used to doing this.
Yeah, but he's I feel like he's just hung out around me that I have a little bit of claim on him,
Uh-huh.
which I'm not going to tell him, but I hope he like understands is a little implied and that scares him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's roll. Okay, that's a 9.
Yeah.
Woo!
Pretty easy BNE. Big things you immediately get just from Boogeyman's knowledge casing is so the Red Tape's house is moderately sized. Like it's in a very nice part of town, but it's not ostentatious for that part of town.
Okay.
Impeccably clean. Like there's a certain part of you is like, does anyone live here? Okay, no. You eventually notice, like, yes, these chairs have been used, but like, who has the time to do this much dusting and everything else? It's one where if you didn't know who she was, you would never. Well, actually, for the time, you would probably question how she owns this by herself.
Like this is definitely not a one person.
Yeah, this is
place.
definitely not a one-person house. But basically, it's like, if you went, this is obviously a family home, no bells would ring. But you're like, okay, no, she owns this by herself, though.
I mean, does she make enough money from just being the Red Tape?
Well, that's the question. How long has she owned it?
Well, time to. I mean, we're in. Your turn, kid.
Mm-hmm. But one thing that you probably would get basically immediately that is actually very odd for the times. She was a graduate of University of Chicago.
Oh, good for her.
That's unusual, I assume, because of women.
Yes. I've done research into the history of women being accepted into college in the U.S., and it was, again, older than we thought it was, though the timeline is still pretty bad.
Always
Don't you
fun.
just love history?
Yep. The oldest was, like,
Okay.
I think in 1860.
Didn't
Okay.
they have more like specific women colleges in the past?
Yes. The founding of those is interesting, especially in relation to when women got accepted to college.
Did they mostly come up as a thing of, okay, this is how we avoid allowing women to go to regular college? We created women-only colleges for a while,
I
and
believe
didn't exist before that.
there
This is
technically
a
were
guess.
some women's
This is a guess.
colleges before that, but like the history of when like certain colleges were general admission is real weird.
Yeah, that's very fair. There's also the things to consider versus of like, there were some colleges that, just accepted some woman with the thing of like, oh, she's just going there to find a husband. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's
history
By
is
the
fun.
way, my statement was entirely a guess based off how many times the women's version of a sport gets created when a woman beats or gets close to beating a man at the sport.
from the research I saw, not quite, but by years I think it was the first woman was accepted to college before the first women's college was founded, but she graduated after it was founded.
Okay.
Intriguing.
Because college takes a bit.
Yeah, no, that's very fair. Um, okay, so obviously using principle of detective, how badly do I want to impress Rocco right now? Yeah, no, screw it. I'm using the um banked +4 that I just have labeled of Rocco's trust and trying to impress him. And
Mm-hmm.
I will roll with intuition and journalism if that's okay with you.
Yep.
Cool, cool, cool.
Suck up.
Yes, explicitly. That's a 10, baby.
A. So the main thing you wind up figuring out, because Ruth can go and you're like, this is an impeccably organized office. This is an impeccably organized house. I know basically exactly where to go to look for a large variety of things. As yeah, you basically get that she actually served in City Hall as an attorney before becoming the Red Tape.
When?
Oh, this is interesting.
But when?
You,
So, answer is full super blown superhero stuff is fairly new. Not entirely new, but fairly new. But Ruth sleuthing, you're like, oh, yeah, like you look through, like she has her high school yearbook. I think that was still a thing back then, but basically, she has a variety of things that actually basically just track her life as being fairly good at most of the things she tried to accomplish. Going off to college and then law school. Getting a job at City Hall as an attorney, though she never did trials because sexism.
Right.
And then, sometime in, during the war, the red tape showed up.
okay.
Huh.
And one of the things that does seem to be true is that, at that point, Marissa Rigby, you know, retired from her job at City Hall shortly before this happened.
Is there any reference to like letters from home, siblings, or that sort of thing?
That one, absolutely. Um, like the big thing is this actually is the place she grew up. Like she has a few siblings. Her parents still live in the city.
Is there? Did she keep a diary or anything?
That one basically no. Like it's the impression is she's kept like newspaper clippings, she kept her diplomas, she kept things that she won, and she's kept some like letters and such from her family. Which is to say, her parents and some of her siblings are still worried that, she has this big fancy house, but is all alone. And it definitely seems like when you're looking through the beginning of this that parts of this are missing. Like there's some pretty regular letters, and then there's some that there's just particular. There's no way her parents didn't contact her for 6 months.
Mm.
Those ones are actively hidden, at least near as you can tell right now, because they're not in the like meticulously organized, easy to find areas of the house. There are a couple of safes, but I'm assuming right now that you guys are doing, we're going to hit the easy stuff first.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, we're definitely going deeper, just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm expecting
Also, for the letters to like family members, do any of them like still have the envelope addresses?
Oh, absolutely. Easy. You can find the rest of her family pretty straightforwardly. And yeah, they're all still within Chicago, where by
Sweet.
neighborhood, her parents were decently well-to-do, but not wealthy.
Mm.
Is that most of what we're going to find out from the initial stuff?
From the initial rolls, yes.
Enough.
You will need to go deeper.
Dun dun dun.
Mr. C, Good Spirits and Foundry.
Oh boy, I have no idea.
So, out of character, my idea is to actually give her a phone call, like call up City Hall and see how that plays out. A, as part of a distraction, so like if anybody tries to bring up that there's something going on in her house, we'll know about it immediately because I'll be on the line. And two, to tell her that look, there are Fae that know that are figuring out what your deal is and are not happy that you have a quote unquote claim to the city. I don't think that's going to make her budge in her resolve at all.
But maybe you can fish for some information.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to help or hurt our cause, which is the problem.
Like, I think the biggest thing would be if we get the contract and we get another member of the bloodline and get them to agree that it's been fulfilled.
Yeah.
Like,
So the
That's a good
option
clue.
of following up on some of the leads that we found of, hey, here's where her family lives, might be
yeah.
useful.
So like figure out one of them that we can give the a contract to and get them to agree that they're like satisfied about things, or that they believe like, yep, everything's good with the work has been repaid. Like, I'd say that's the biggest thing is follow up on any of those people. Pick one that think is a good for this, and otherwise work on stealing the contract.
Yeah, I don't think either of those are two things I can actionably do this round.
I mean, maybe you can, like I said, maybe you can fish for information.
Mhm.
Fish for information, support someone else with that by setting up the trains so that they can travel to and meet with all these people.
Honestly, probably the best thing I can do is like make listening devices for this endeavor.
That's a
Ooh.
great boost.
Go for it.
I'll let Dan go first.
All right, so let's roll. Well, I guess invention is blue collar or invention's creativity probably. And can I use gearhead?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see how we do. Well,
Oof.
4.
Well, it's still a +2.
Yeah, plus two.
True.
I think this would just be a boost for whichever of the group wants to call it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Mr. C in good spirits.
Do you want it, Sean, or do you want me to fish for
If
information?
we need to think about stuff, I can go because mine is kind of just moreover delaying things.
Sure, go for it.
So let's see. I think what day of the week is it? And are there other people that work in this office outside of administrators?
We say Wednesday, and there's other people who work in her office writ large, but the part that you're in and get called into is basically her and the administrators.
Okay. Do I have access to information in such a way that I can pass notes around of just like to cause things like, oh, we have to have an office party for blank person's birthday because or secretary day or any of these other things? Which when was that invented? 1952. Damn it.
You can.
There's
invent it
probably
early.
something.
There is something you can eventually like find a way to forge a note or cause problems for to delay them getting things done.
Yeah, because I think that is mostly what I think I will do that now, and in the next one is when I'm going to do more information fishing. So Green was going after their morality and demonstrating malicious compliance and asking a ton of questions related to this. This one is just being causing problems by being social and friendly and being like, of course, like we need to have a lunch party for Jeff. He's the one that handles the mail room and it's his birthday. He's been working here for years. So I'm going to use Principle of Chaos. I'll throw a +1 from one of my hero points onto this. That's probably a dumb idea, but whatever. I think creativity is what makes sense here. So that is a 7.
Yeah, that you cause enough chaos that they waste several hours on this where not much more progress on the contracts gets done.
And just does Jeff have a good party?
Jeff has a fantastic
Is
party.
there actually somebody named Jeff?
You
100%.
guys remembered my birthday.
No
Nobody
one.
remembers my birthday.
I didn't think anyone knew.
We know every year, Jeff. This is just the first year we've cared.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mr. C.
Okay. Well, first thing, Nick, what does the newspaper say about the mob war? Because that was yesterday, correct? Or was that 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
Okay. Real quick, I'm assuming the red tape are the only people made out to be heroes. The mafia is effectively destroyed, and Terminal are a bunch of, horrible vagrants that are, causing destruction in the city, correct?
Hey,
What is
Ruth, give me an overcome.
Yeah, that's fair. Roll in yellow. Still use intuition.
Yep.
And journalist. Can I use detective still?
Not for this one. This is one
Yes,
where
fair.
twists are going to be interesting.
Hi God, where are you? Okay, that's a 4.
negate the
Pepperoni.
twist?
It's me, Ruth.
Yeah, I'll negate the twist for this one. Yeah. No, I did so much effort yesterday. The 2 days ago.
2 days
I'm
ago.
trying to create a press kerfuffle.
Ruth, I'm negating the twist for you.
Oh.
That's why I have two of them.
Ah, okay.
Mr. C is a helper.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
So the answer is the actual text of the article basically is what Mr. C said. The problem is, and this is where Ruth managed to sneak things in that did not get noticed until print. The
Yes!
pictures show Terminal saving people from the mob war.
Okay.
I got some actual positive press. Look at that.
Yeah.
Eddie's gonna be so mad at me later. It'll be okay.
Well, you're not the one who took the pictures.
No, that was Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy.
Kathy's got so much shit to deal with. So I guess my turn. I'm gonna be fishing for some information. I'm gonna go to a phone booth nearby a park and dial up City Hall, the office of the red tape. See where this goes.
You're definitely going to be going to operator for that one, but if you at the claim of being Mr. Conductor,
No, that's fine. It's like, hello, I'd like to speak to the red tape. This is Mr. Conductor. Ah, okay.
Yep. Take a little bit in good spirits there in the background when the phone rings. She goes, "Who is it?" "I see." Looks at good spirits briefly. Patch him through.
Quick, out of character, quick question, because I would know this before I make this phone call. Sean, does she fully know your deal?
I mean, I have stated myself to be a fae, and that I am currently the one that is Gwen of the Green Death. I don't think I have stated that I am I would qualify as the Lord of Chicago.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to hold on to that one for a little bit.
See, I was going to name drop that, but not give a name and not say it was you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to mention the Fey Lord of Chicago, you can, but I would like to avoid stating that is specifically me for now.
I'm not going to do that. Hello, Miss Tape. I think it's been quite a while since we've last spoken.
Yes, it has. Thank you for contacting my office in a less potentially destructive manner, Mr. Conductor.
Miss Tape, I'm not sure you are entirely aware of exactly what you're doing right now. And I figured, as a hero of Chicago, whose some of methods I have personally begun to question recently, I think you need to know exactly what you're getting yourself into before you continue down this path.
Uh-huh. And what is it that you think I'm doing?
Well, by your own admission, you claim not to believe in the supernatural, in magic, in anything like that. You've said that many times, and you have often shrugged it off without a second thought. However, I am aware that you have recently been collecting a large amount of books related to the supernatural and try to expand your knowledge base on that. I'm also aware that you are currently in possession of a contract with one Gwen of the Green Death. Now, I know you don't believe in what you would call the mumbo jumbo hocus pocus that is my magic railway. But I figured it would behoove you to know that there are several people who have ridden my train who are aware of your actions and believe that you have somehow laid claim to the city of Chicago. And some are not very happy with this. We are talking beings of immense power. We are talking Phalords. I believe the title is Lord of Chicago himself is aware of this and is not all too pleased by it.
Mr. Conductor, I believe you are aware that the leader of Chicago is an elected position. If
I'm aware.
someone in your organization wishes to claim otherwise, or of your acquaintance, I would suggest that you report this person to law enforcement.
Miss Tape, I am merely giving you information right now because I don't want you to get in over your head, because right now it seems like you are attempting to go into the shallow end of a pool, and that pool is turning out to be a vast ocean. You are playing with fire that you don't fully understand and that you personally do not want to understand.
Mr. Conductor, I understand that you have a large number of thoughts about the running of this city and how to properly handle its criminal element. It sounds like you may be aware of other people within that, and I have already made the determination that your most recent actions were justified self-defense and defense of many other people. If there are additional problems that my office ought to handle, I would implore you to actually provide more information rather than nebulous, someone might be mad.
Again, I believe you do not believe in magical beings that have more power than you and I can comprehend.
Good Spirits is going to see her just massage her temples for a second.
Can Sean hear this, by the way?
You can hear her side of it.
It's got cat hearing.
I
No,
do
fair
have
enough.
cat ears.
You can hear both sides of it.
Okay. I don't know if I'm actually digging you into a grave, Sean, and I apologize. Can I make an
think
overcome or
that
something, Nick, to see if she
Mr.
gives me anything?
Conductor... Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. Izzy, go.
I was going to say, can I make an overcome to see if she actually gives me anything useful to work off of after having given her
Absolutely.
this information? I believe I have a +4 banked from way back when, which is dealing with the red tape that I never ended up using.
That you did.
So I'll drop that. Oh, I'm not in mundane form anymore, thank goodness. Can I use intuition and bartender?
Intuition, yes. I'm not actually sure bartender's applicable for this.
Insight?
Insight's applicable.
Okay. Because here's the thing, I'm telling the truth, I'm just not telling the full picture right now.
Mm-hmm.
That would be I didn't call a principal.
Nope.
That's only a 6.
Does someone want to negate the minor twist?
I could, but I do like minor twists.
If you don't want me to negate it, I won't.
Yeah, don't. I'm actually waiting for her to get either slightly mad at me and call me by my real name.
Mr. Conductor,
Mhm.
I can assure you of one thing. You are far from the most trustworthy person who has ever decided that actions are from a higher power or other beings that has tried to convince me of this. These things that you call, what was it again, please? Fey lords?
Fairies. Beings of folktale.
Folktale. And a wonderful story, but I think you'll find that there is no folktale, Mr. Conductor. Everything that we have found has shown that to be false. There are many people, many kind people, certainly kinder than you, given what just happened, who still believe in such things. However, it's a myth, a figment of your imagination, a figment of their imagination
That is rooted in truth.
that is rooted in superstition. Do you know how many other superstitions there are about the way people are, about what is right and proper in the world? This is ancient myth and history best left behind to the, what, 800s, 1000s, 1200s, where it belongs. Streaks of the imagination have no place in the modern day. And yes, there are many who theorize that what were once called great spirits or gods may be nothing more than people like ourselves, Mr. Conductor. People empowered with a great deal of ability. Beasts that no one has seen before. Who claimed to be something that they're not. There are many people who would want to sell the kind-hearted and innocent a lie that sounds beautiful, Mr. Conductor. Given how much older you are than I am, I dearly hope you're not passing on such naivety to your family.
Ooh, that stings.
I think it's Mr. Conductor's going to get hindered because that stings is the twist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Now, out of character, the question is, I don't think this tips our head, but I know how I want to end this conversation. Let me roll a d4. If it's odds, I'm just gonna say what I want to say. If it's evens, I'll just hang up.
Sounds like a great way to solve a problem.
Huh?
You should say what you want to say.
I should just say what I want to say.
Just do it, Izzy.
Okay.
No impulse control here, baby. Let's go.
No impulse control. I'm just gonna like look at the phone, shaking, and just be like, "All right, maybe you're right." But again, I can only warn you caution. They know who you are, Marissa. Click.
Get her.
So, Good Spirits is going to feel a pulse of that, no magic and no other things work aura.
I think with that, I'm gonna have to pass to Sean to see if he can figure out what the fuck it actually is. Then
Are we actually in round 3 now?
it looks
Start
No.
like,
with red.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it didn't give me the
Yeah, I'm
information I
going to
wanted.
try and figure out her deal a bit more for exactly what this is based off her magical aura, her threads, and other stuff based off her doing things like this. Can I use Principle of Immortality since I've seen a good amount of different magics?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I am going to use take +1 that I used gained previously for being hyper alert, and +3 for Lord of Chicago because it I think applies here for a +4 total. And I have to use that D4. Otherworldly mythos should be fine at this point.
Yes, it is. And, yeah, you certainly boxed yourself into
That
a
is
personal
a
corner.
12.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
Is that
Yes.
six? Oh, good.
Give me a moment to think about what that 12 means.
Dun,
No
dun,
worries.
dun.
But yeah, that is what my focus for today is figuring out things about her. And how like, what exactly is her magic? Why does she have this?
Or if it's something beyond magic at all.
Yeah, basically the thing of figure out what is what her, I'm trying to figure out what her deal is because so little of it makes sense.
And also, why is she experimenting with a fake contract if she doesn't believe in magic? Is she
Yeah, like
stupid?
that's the actual thing that bugs me about her whole deal. That's the one piece of her puzzle I haven't figured out yet.
I don't
The
think she's.
answer is that she can be pretty hypocritical at times.
Like,
Yeah,
she
she.
could
Yeah.
just be a lying hypocrite. Like, that is possible.
I
Like
don't think she's
the
lying.
fact of the fact of these fake contracts, these fake contracts do not match her worldview, but that does not mean she's going to stop using them or try to avoid them. She's just going to argue that nope, these totally still fit my worldview.
Yeah,
Mm.
but
she,
like,
she she's self-lying to herself. She's seeing them as like, this is just an unexplained power. It's not magic.
yeah, she's very much here's a round peg, let's jam it into this square hole kind of thing.
Mm.
Like she's making it work in her mindset, even though she's obviously lying to herself.
Okay. So, thinking about the 12 and what it means. I think the big thing that hits here is that this is the only time Good Spirits has really been hit by this effect when he didn't have his own claim and didn't have his own power. And it puts it into a new perspective, being brought down to this week compared to something. A perspective that he has actually seen and felt before, he just hadn't thought about it. Because when he was Lord of Chicago, he was thinking about fights between Fey lords. And in his mind, he was going, she's not Fey. What the fuck is this? Because she can't be Fey, she doesn't smell at all like a Fey, otherwise nothing makes any goddamn sense. And there's a moment that clicks. She's not Fey. She has a claim and it's a claim to this realm.
This.
I don't know if you cut out there, Nick.
No, I'm pausing for dramatic effect.
Okay.
This
Oh,
realm.
This realm.
Because that's the thing when he realizes it. It is not necessarily, it's somewhat magic, but it's not. And that's the thing that hits you when you realize within her own effect, she and her administrators are fine. You never got a chance to test this, but would Foundry be fine in her effect? And
Wasn't
that's
Foundry
when...
hurt by the prison as well?
Well, this is Good Spirits navel gazing about things. And then Good Spirits goes back to one of your own allies. How the fuck did Iota control magic? This realm shouldn't. But there are beings that can. And probably when she gets mad enough that you see some of the ribbons manifest and Good Spirits gets a good look at them and realizes what's written on there are physical laws of the mortal realm and edits to them. And probably sinking a deep amount of ice into Good Spirits' gut is, oh no, she has some amount of divine power for the mortal within the mortal realm, and is wielding it without realizing.
Told you.
I was starting to suspect God at this point, yeah.
Like I said, there's things that are above magic, especially in superhero worlds.
See, my guess was she was like capitalism, but that got thrown out the window very quickly when we realized she had a family.
I'm very glad that Nick ran this far with my second stupid villain idea.
Which was...
Red tape.
That was Dan's idea.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought you meant something specific. Okay.
No, just the very, very rough outline for what Red Tape's powers were.
What the fuck is the first weird villain you've come up with?
Well, no, I was partially responsible for two of the villains. It was Ne'er-Do-Weld and Red Tape.
Two excellent villains.
Yep.
Ne'er-Do-Weld was mostly the name.
Yeah. My God.
I mean,
Well,
though, honestly, though, capitalism is not that far off. I know you're saying that, but I'm not willing to totally dismiss that idea.
Oh, no, very much, one of the things she has is cosmic power. Capitalism is in the same category of being.
Yeah, this is not someone who is the embodiment of it. I think this is someone who's possessed. I think someone inherited something without realizing it.
only one way to find out, and that's by digging for more information, baby.
And that's a great first thing to start Red on. I'm gonna say after Good Spirit's second day, you guys are sitting there at night with him able to give you information.
Well,
Or-
before we do
I
that,
will
hold
give
on,
you
hold on.
this info,
Hold on,
but
hold on,
I'm
hold
also
on.
going to remind people that we have a very limited time to act now.
Hold on. If this is the night, can we finish the break-in?
So what I was gonna say is the yellow was your first day of break-in.
Oh, are we breaking in 2 separate days, or?
Yeah, basically it's yellow was you guys going and being careful. As soon as it seemed like anyone was investigating, he was like, nope, we're out.
Okay.
Red, though, you can go back, but Good Spirits can give you guys information after his second day first, because Red is the entirety of the final day. That Good Spirits is holding Gwyn away from her control.
We are so far.
Listen, the two important things we got to do is find where she keeps that bloody contract, and then convince one of her relatives to lay claim to it instead.
But how do we do that? We don't know where any of her family lives.
That's not true, actually.
Ruth holds up her notes that she wrote down all the addresses.
We did a little investigating of our own.
More productive
You
than mine.
sharing all relevant information.
It's more productive than my afternoon was.
Another thing we learned too. I don't know if you reached the same conclusion, Red, but I don't think she always was like this.
No, what it sounds like is that during the war she got a perspective shift, but from what our resident expert on weird shit is saying, I point to the cat, it might also be she inherited her powers then or something. I don't really know how all that gestures wildly with hands works.
We're running out of time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll need to investigate this further, but I think you guys really need to find the contract and someone else can give it to. That isn't going to be a problem.
Well, yes, we're aware of that, but I thought you were saying originally that you thought it would be on her person. Can you confirm that?
I've seen the contract at some point because the contract was on the first day. Do I know where she's storing that at all?
Oh, she's storing it in a safe in her actual office.
Okay.
Like, one big thing that Good Spirits will get is there's a fair amount of stuff stored in the very expensive and very secure, like, City Hall office that she has.
Do we break into the vault?
I don't really see another way of doing it.
That could be tricky. What if it has the same effect like the prison did?
Yeah, I was gonna ask a dumb question. Is it a vault or is it a wall safe, Nick?
It's a wall safe. But Good Spirits at this point would know City Hall absolutely has the same effect the prison did.
Which makes it really tricky.
Not quite to the same level, I think, since I can notice a difference when she's more annoyed than not.
Oh no, her aura is worse than the prison.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Does that aura come from her directly? Like, or is it a part of City Hall itself?
I think it lingers like how the city it does with the prison, where the prison she didn't have to be there for.
So answer for this one: there is a direct aura that is her herself. There is a separate thing that is City Hall and the prison.
It's probably because she has
only one who spent long enough to realize, oh wait, when she leaves, it gets less bad.
There's probably a case of she has specific claims to those areas.
Well, we would know from when we were preventing the jailbreak that if they cut the power, the field should also dissipate, correct? For City Hall?
Prison was a device.
Yeah.
It was a machine.
This is like the locus of her power.
But we can assume that if she's not there, that it would be a similar device.
Well, I don't know if it's a device at all. It could just look. I mean, I've listened to Tom. I've listened to you talk a lot about this stuff. Isn't there some like idea that like beings that are that powerful kind of leave themselves in a place that they like identify with?
I
You know what
mean,
I
there
mean?
are territories and things, and the magic of a lord can kind of shape its territory.
Well, if that's the case, then what's more territory than City Hall?
I'll give you guys this one for free. A bunch of that requires intent. Like, lords passively
Yeah.
shape their domains around themselves, but to leave it there when they're not there requires intent and action.
So there's probably some linchpin or thing there, but I don't know what it would be.
Well, how about this? Sounds like we got to act quick, and the only way we can do this is to get that contract.
Mhm.
That means we need a concerted effort to get it from City Hall, and it's got to be today, right?
I mean, if we can turn the field off, I can just open up a train yard inside the vault.
Well, that's my thought here. Hear me out. I think I got a plan. First, we got to get her away. We need some distraction, some way to get her out of City Hall somehow.
I'll tell
Second,
you this, but she goes home at 6 p.m.
so
Yeah.
it's a nighttime break-in then. Second, we got to identify what this linchpin is, whatever it is, and get it off. And then we got to get in fast as we can. I even have another suggestion too. If we do this, she will stop at nothing to take us down. I don't think we can hide in Chicago anymore. And I look at Mr. C. How's Station Master feel about a couple of people bunking in his station for the night?
Pretty sure we have sleeper cars and can go around the country for a little bit as long as we keep to schedule.
That you absolutely can.
We need to not be, if the mortal realm is her realm, we need to not be in it once we have that contract for as much as we can.
The problem is then possessing the contract isn't enough. We need to get another person to claim it.
Yeah.
You
So
need
we
one of the
have to-
relatives to claim it.
Then we got to split our forces. So, actually, out of character, Sean, you shared what you said that you didn't think it would affect Dan's character.
I'm not sure. I think it might affect Dan's character because for like his metal manipulating abilities,
Well,
because those have an outside source.
what if we don't rely on that? Tommy here is the one who's least magic out of all of us.
If it's all inventions and those all work within physics, and there's nothing that she has there that is editing laws of physics for that purpose while there, then all of his stuff should work normally.
Another option too. Would Iota know what this is?
She might.
We need information before we can act. Is this the last red, by the way, or the first red?
No, this is the first red.
First red.
Good Spirits had the
Yeah.
first action in red.
All right, then we
I
need.
will
Then we need.
say, Iota's info could bind you and make you unable to act.
Right.
I don't.
I guess we talked to Iota. So if Iota tells us we can't act on it,
Depends on what it is. Like
I'd say for me,
you got involved. You know about the. You were the one that was also affected by the by knowing that that fight was going to happen and not being able to stop it from happening.
And yeah, that was also bullshit because if you got deductions about that happening, it still counted, which magic is so fucking weird.
if you want to ask Iota, you can. I will tell you guys this much. This is most good Spirits. Iota's very good at warning you when something she tells you is about to cause a problem.
all right.
Yeah.
Then let's.
So can try reaching out to Iota for that, but
Is it this an action to do so?
It would be an action for someone to do so, but like Good Spirits can give you the contact info, and she generally trusts Terminal.
Okay. Who wants to talk to Iota then? Who? I think this should be whoever feels they can do the least at this stage.
I mean, it sounds like it shouldn't be me then if we're going to be relying on my inventions.
Well, even then, you might
Yeah.
also be the one who can get into the police station and be able to accomplish something. You would know what to look for potentially.
Right.
You're also the one that has the least exposure to your face because
That is,
you're always in the suit.
that's true.
I can call in a friend to give you a hand.
Well, I think for this step, I'm the one that needs to talk to Iota then. Ruth can get places, is probably better at convincing people than me. We need to save Foundry to break in, and Mr. Conductor, I think you're too useful with your like just train abilities. I'll go talk to Iota.
So do remember, a lot of people think Creek is Foundry.
That's true.
Why?
I mean, can you blame them?
Wait, why?
Because Creek has shown up where Foundry has shown up and been gone when Foundry shows up
Yeah.
to the general public.
And he
Because
does
Foundry
things right.
saves Creek.
And they work.
Yeah,
It's great.
the best.
All right, so is Boogeyman going first then?
Yep, I will go.
All right.
So I'll give Iota a call.
Hey, she's like, hey, who's calling?
Hey Iota, it's the boogeyman. Tom gave me a number. Can we talk?
Give me 5. Where do you want to meet?
Where's comfortable for you? I kind of serious what we got to talk about, and we need your expertise.
All right, just give me a hint about how no one's supposed to know about this talk is, and I can give you an answer.
As much as possible off the grid. There is a large chance that someone in a very important position of power may be watching, and we still don't know how they do it. So as much as you can shield yourself from it, the better.
All right, so we're going to want to talk in another dimension then. Can Mr. Conductor help?
Mrs. C, you okay if we go to the train station?
Mr. Station Master might not be happy with that, but I can get you guys up with a nice boxcar.
Just as long as we're out of the. Can we have a conversation on a train car as part of a trip?
Trivially.
I think that probably would qualify.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
All right. Then I'll be by to pick. I'll see you in a minute.
Sounds good. Tell Mr. C to bring you in the train. She gives a cross street in 5 minutes.
All right.
5 minutes later, she's waiting there and boards the train. She goes, all right, so there's a select few entities that need this much secrecy. What do you want to know?
Is it dangerous to say their name here?
I mean, look, some things, yes, but like I can't really tell depending on what's going on.
This is about the red tape. I'm just gonna say it's just about the red tape.
I don't think it's dangerous to just say her name.
Okay. I'm not sure. We figured out she has some way to detect things she shouldn't have a way to detect, and we don't really know the mechanics behind it.
No comment.
Fair enough. I know how you. Tom explained how your deal works, so please keep that in mind when I ask you questions here, all right?
Absolutely.
Look, without too many details, you knew what was happening with the whole stunt she pulled, right?
Yep.
Well, the clock on that's about to run out. And she's going to have the full access that your prophecy predicted.
Yep, I've deliberately tried to avoid seeing what happens after that.
Probably
as
for
I
the
can.
best. Probably for the best. Well, I'm gonna call fate a bit of a fickle bitch, and I'd like to defy her if we can. So, we think we have an idea how to do it, and I'm not going to give you the details. I feel that would just make things worse.
So I
But-
think I'm pretty sure metaphysically, me giving you the details is what makes things worse, but completely fair.
Basically, we know that City Hall is a place of Red Tape's power. You've been around her. You know how her ability seems to suppress everything related to magic or ether, whatever you call it, right?
She kind of just does the handy thing, ish.
Right. Well, we need to disable that in City Hall. And from what we can tell, something there has to generate it when she's not around. If you are able to, we need to know what does it, or if not, what at least to look for. And how do we shut it off?
All right. Question the first. Shut it off or shut it off safely?
Safely if time, not safely if there's no other option. Time is a problem here.
Time is always a problem. Okay, so I think, and I'm not sure because I've tried to avoid confirming this. I think what's going on with that is somewhat my fault.
Yeah, this should be good.
Well, you know, I can extract Aether, manipulate it, and change everything around.
Right. That seems to be kind of your deal, and I assume you do it with those doodads you got.
Exactly. The thing is, the a less refined version is what's been put into use not just here but around a significant amount of the United States to try and confine super criminals.
Yeah, we felt some of that at the prison when we were there a little while ago.
Okay, great, excellent. So something like that's probably also in City Hall. It's
If I'm remembering,
she sits
guys,
there and like thinks for about a minute.
out of character, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. It was a specific device doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And Foundry got a good look at it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I was.
He
Yeah, I was
did.
inside the prison, so yes, I did get a good look at it.
If it helps, Foundry got a pretty good look at the one inside the prison. Would it be similar?
Most likely. Again, I've been trying to avoid confirming certain things.
Right. Where would such a thing need to be? Underneath City Hall? Hooked up to a power grid or something?
Oh, hooked up to the power grid. Like, there's no way people have good enough batteries to power that right now. But
So it has
centralized to the effect.
so somewhere in the center of City Hall, hooked up to the power grid.
Boogeyman, sorry, I'm pretty sure you don't know much science, right?
Not particularly, no.
Not centralized to City Hall, centralized to the effect.
I'm not sure I'm following.
All right, so City Hall's pretty big.
Right?
It's pretty likely the field is not uniform over City Hall. So what you need to do is find the center of the field, not the center of City Hall.
So wherever the field is strongest, that's where it is.
Exactly.
All right?
Like so many things it falls off at R squared.
I will pretend I know what that means. I'm sure someone else does. So, in theory, we should be able to use the effect itself to find the device, and we can find the device and unhook it from the grid. That'll shut it off.
Yep.
That the
Right
safe-
now, you probably could also just cut power to City Hall. Depending on how much it's absorbed, that might be a problem. I really do not have a good ability to check that. That's the dangerous option.
So cut power is dangerous. Remove device is safe.
Safer.
Okay.
Safer because I'm pretty sure your group can absorb the amount of etheric energy that will be output when that happens.
Oh, lovely. Wait, hold on. What does that do to a normal bloke?
Potions.
What does that do to
If
like a normal average Joe?
person grabs the core of the device and pulls out, it depends on how long it's been active and how much it's absorbed, but they are probably losing at least the hand that grabbed it.
Interesting. I guess it's a good time to test if Foundry's a normal guy.
Thanks.
Okay, but it won't.
The big thing is,
it'll only.
when you do this, you will get a surge of mana that it has absorbed.
But does this represent like a danger to anyone nearby, not necessarily the person grabbing it? I don't want to put normal people in danger.
Well, I mean, if you disconnect it without anyone being able to channel the energy coming out, it's just going to explode chaotically.
Got it. So we need to make sure we disconnect it and absorb it. Not a problem here. Just a normal day in the lives of Terminal. Thank you for your ticket to hell. Oh, boy.
Oh, don't worry, this is not a ticket to hell. That's a different thing.
I know. Believe me, I know.
Oh.
Top 10 funniest conversations.
All right.
Is there anything else I can maybe help you with?
Out of character, guys. What else should I ask?
Ask if a piece of machinery could perhaps remove the device and not have a squishy human arm get blown off in the process.
Is it safe for like something like mechanical to remove the device?
Well, I mean, if you want to unleash chaotic etheric energy on everything, including the thing removing it, yes. I'd advise... How long has this been active? The problem is I don't know how long it's been active. I'd advise a 5-meter radius.
To be away from it? All right. Okay. Okay, guys. Again, out of character. Anything else? Can we think of anything else we want to ask her?
I am too distracted by the thought of just like, what if we just shot at it? Which would be a terrible idea, but that's the only thing my brain is thinking.
But what if gun?
What? Oh, what if?
See,
Fun!
I was around for this, I would be 100% doing, yeah, this is not my problem, and just, this is not a problem to me, and just pulling it out of just like, yeah, I can take whatever happens with this.
You might.
This will be fine.
You
I
don't.
can't.
You don't have hands right now.
Only pause.
I
You can
can't
bind
be
it.
involved in the stealing of the contract. Directly.
Okay.
Sag.
I think
We
can
can use you to test the device of the radius of the device during your workday.
Yes, we can.
By putting a sensor on me.
I mean, yes. Also, you can just like.
Oh,
we can
actually, hey, actually,
Oh, I can
hey,
just tell. Yeah.
hold on. Hey, actually, you're the master of knowing this. You got something to help sense the strength of this energy? Something we could borrow? Maybe something someone could wear discreetly?
She's gonna sit there for a moment, think. Okay, so the problem is it's basically taking in etheric energy from the area around it and storing it. Oh boy. Give me a sec. quickly gadgeteer something. Foundry might be able to use this. I think he's probably the only member of your group who might understand it.
Perfect. Well, it's worth trying at least. We're trying to keep our options open. All right, I got one last question about it, and I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if this thing ends up in like another dimension or something?
That depends entirely on which dimension it's in.
I point around us.
Gonna be honest, I've experienced more of this space here than I ever did before.
What do you mean?
The train. She points to the train. I'm not used to taking these anywhere, and so I really don't know.
Okay, trains a variable then.
Well, it's not that they're variable. It's that very few people have the ability to just access this space whenever they want.
Right, but would it cause like damage to the train or like this space if it would ended up here?
Can I do a test?
Mr. C?
I'm not there. Good luck.
I know you're watching.
He can't hear what you say.
Yeah, I know you hear all this conversation.
That's right. We did establish that before, didn't we?
Yeah, that you can hear anything on your trains should you choose to tune in with it.
I probably wasn't paying attention, but yeah, I'll just be like, "Don't hurt the trains." Over a
I don't
loudspeaker.
know if this will hurt the trains or not. That's what we're testing, whether or not it hurts the trains.
I'd recommend against such experiments
Yeah.
after we just made it so that he
Yeah,
didn't lose his.
You know what? Whatever. We'll deal with it in the mortal realm. It's fine.
Sounds great.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks, Doc. It's helpful. You got anything you can tell us that you don't think will break into your laws of defying fate?
Oh, there's. So here's the problem. It's a question of what you want to be bound by.
I mean, hopefully not particularly anything. I'm bound by enough contracts already.
I'll play it safe for you then. If it helps, I'm pretty sure you're going to help the city and the world with this.
And that's hopefully the idea. All right. Well, like I said, Doc, thanks for your help. If you ring the bell there, Mr. C will let you off somewhere.
If you can just drop me back off where I got on, that'd be great.
Doors open for a hot second in Dr. Iota's lab. They close.
Not a problem for you guys, but I'm making sure a meteor doesn't hit the city in the next week.
Come again?
Don't worry about it. You have your own field.
God damn it. That's what I'm saying. Magic heroes only deal with magic shit.
I had to give you that as a joke for that purpose, Lex.
Yeah.
Linear mech suits, quadratic wizards.
Dude, alright, I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. You guys feel free to discuss plans.
So yeah, so the next time we're playing a game, someone's going to be Professor Iota and Dr. Gamma. And
Exactly.
The science team.
Team science, team logic. We're dealing with too much.
It's not even team science, it's team everything else.
Yeah, they keep also saying that magic is science. So
Okay, Tony Stark.
I am confident that there are other heroes in the city that we still have not met, and I don't think we are going to meet.
Yeah, because they're good at their job of not being public.
Yeah.
I mean, they're also probably a lot more small.
I feel like if we haven't heard of them, and they therefore haven't done anything in the two Gain war gain wars and their confrontations.
I mean, I totally expect there just to be a vigilante who like goes around on a skateboard punching, pickpockets in the face.
Hold on, I know exactly who you mean. Hold on.
Bart Simpson.
No, hold on.
One fear. Whatever the fuck is currently going on.
No, it's just this fucking guy from fucking One Punch Man.
Excellent.
Moonin Rider.
Yes, Rider. Forgot his name.
His ultimate technique is where he crashes his bike. He jumps off his crashing bicycle as he launches into a person.
Yes, he's amazing.
Okay, are you describing Mugen Rider or is he playing Crankshaft?
No, Moomin Rider.
Okay.
I like how you heard like the last bit of that and you went, I know what you guys are talking about.
Okay,
I still think my
I don't
favorite.
think anybody was around for the era of Crankshaft, so
I still think my favorite character is King.
King is fantastic.
King is excellent.
yeah, no one was in the game with me for Crankshaft.
I was.
Oh,
I
yeah,
bought
you
a
were-
better car because I had the one to be the misfortune of being in the car as you consistently decide to go ramming speed when ramming speed was not necessary.
Rip, don't you
Why?
lie. You were Mr.
Paid
Blinky
to cushion the entirety of that
Mhm.
car because of the fact of like, yes, I can sit in the car and hack things. And then shenanigans always happened.
Why would you buy nice things for Izzy? You fool.
Okay. So in fairness, Sean didn't buy shit. Sean was the party's hacker. I was the party's driver, and the entire concept was I had a reinforced car and I hit people with said car. That was my character concept, soup to nuts. I had a
Yep,
big
Yep.
car.
and there was the thing of I can be safe in the car while I hack was a decision made on at least one of the missions, which then led to the fact of no, I cannot because he rams into things, and I therefore have to roll things that I do not have to survive getting thrown about the car. So I had to invest money in padding and seating, etc., into the car.
So, Sean, the problem now is that I'm thinking of Izzy's character, and the only thing that I can think of is the fucking Gronky that was backing up his car into his box truck into people.
Nice.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Like I
you
eventually
don't
got.
even know what he's talking about.
So it's
I
it's a common rider monster. So like the whole shtick is their species like I'm going to kill X number of people in X number of days in this specific method. And this one monster was so committed to the bit that he was like, I have to take this truck and back into these people to run them over and kill them. That is the only way I'm allowed to kill people.
Is by backing up a truck into them.
Notably, he also tries to run over the common rider by backing up and only by backing up.
It's not a particularly great plan.
I would like to point out I did ram an 18-wheeler into a boat, and I won that fight.
But did you back into the boat?
Izzy Black Lagoon things.
Anyway, back to this game.
Back to
Yeah.
this game.
Do we guys know what we're doing?
No.
Really, we don't.
Excellent.
Do
We
you
never do.
ever know what you're doing?
No.
All right, well, Sean can't go now to figure out where the weak spot is in the defense array.
Sure he can.
Yeah, I can't act until second round of red. I would really want this
true.
plan moving forward before second round of red.
Then I feel like the correct answer here is Dan.
Fuck. Yeah, because I can take the thing and be incognito and like walk around the outside. Shit. Yeah.
Right? You could pretend to be like just a maintenance worker.
True.
You like could go into City Hall, be a maintenance worker, and just go look around, you know?
Yeah.
If you need a quick extraction, just spin around 3 times and say Shazam.
Well, I also need to be far enough away from the field when that happens.
All
Or
right.
the trains won't work.
Actually, point of interest, Nick, can I just remotely view all of City Hall without issue?
No, it's blurry.
Yay!
Can we figure out which, like, centralize which part is the most blurry? This might be my turn, I think. I'm going
That
to
is
let you
your
know.
turn trying to figure that out.
Yeah, if I spend this, I can then give the information like, Dan, you're gonna want to go in. Foundry's gonna want to go in this general vicinity.
I mean, yeah, if you want to do that to give me a boost.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm pretty sure I have better remote viewing somewhere else. Yeah, I do. Oh, and I can boost in this mode. Nick, I'm gonna burn a +1 to change modes.
Okay.
Right? Can't defend or overcome. Would this be awareness or remote viewing?
Remote viewing.
Okay. So I'm assuming awareness and alertness.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to get Foundry on the train with me, and I'm gonna be like, okay, the part of the building that I have the hardest part viewing is this corner here, so you can avoid the central area and focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a plus. Ooh. Why did I do that when I have an ability that could have literally applied to both of us?
Because we are all smart, Izzy.
Yep.
Because we forget about abilities when we're not fighting.
Yeah. Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't be using a +2 anyway for the city hall areas. Oh, and crap, Nick, I have a -2 hinder on me.
Yep.
Still a +2. So Dan, you have a +2.
Okay. That is helpful. All right.
I'm just burning off all my boosts in a
Alright,
information gathering session. I'll
I'm glad
pass.
someone else thought of Angel Summoner and BMX Bandit.
Yes.
Lives rent free. Alright. I guess that's probably should be me next.
Yeah,
Mhm.
do you want me to help with your thing, or do you want to do it by yourself?
I think you need to be free for the whole getting us another contractee part of it.
Okay.
So it's probably safer if I do it myself.
Fair
So
enough.
this would be a mix of inventions and I guess creativity again. Can I use Gearhead for this? Since I'm using that device to aid in these readings.
That you can. What
Okay.
power were you? Sorry, what power and quality were you trying to go for?
Inventions, and I could either use creativity or if you will let me use blue collar because I'm pretending to be a maintenance worker, that would be slightly better.
That is perfectly fine. And also, inventions is not debuffed by the nonsense that is City Hall.
Yay! All right. So I have
No.
the +2 from Izzy, and let's. You know what? Let's spend a +2 of my own. So total of +4. Okay, so that's a 9.
So,
Boom.
the thing is, Foundry can easily figure out where the device is, which is like basically off in some maintenance room that is marked like very important. And yeah, Foundry, how do you turn this off?
What would I roll for that?
No roll. How? It's basically nearest Foundry can tell, and from the notes from Iona is like it is a gem with a particular crystal structure suspended in a weird mechanical contraption that has energy flowing into it. You know,
I mean-
grab it yourself is an option. You know, like knock it away from a decent chunk away is an option. What do you do?
So
We're doing this right now then?
This sounds like the second half of Red is going to be, oh no, get out before the cops and the red tape arrive.
the problem is we have to be set up for the actual heist is the thing. Or I guess it's like asynchronous time. I guess we can always say this is like during the actual heist.
Yeah, like we can say that like this is the beginning of the actual heist because it's asynchronous time.
So okay, so again, since we kind of jumped right to that, since I have a rough idea of how this stuff works between IOTA and like having actually seen the device, can I effectively build a mana dissipating gauntlet for that I can basically wear and try to mitigate the effects of this thing blowing my arm off?
Give me inventions and creativity.
Okay, can I use Gearhead again?
Yep.
This is pretty inventive.
Okay, so minor twist, but that's fine.
Do you have a negate? You could always negate it with a red.
Oh, that's true.
You don't have to remember this one. The answer is Foundry's going to take damage from Max Die because he's not very skilled at using his magic, and some of it flows back into his body, but nothing explodes.
That seems like a perfectly reasonable twist for this.
Yep. So you take 5 damage, it's not likely to matter.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Because, like, yeah, turns out your metal power, like, you start funneling it into TKing metal, but you can't funnel it fast enough. And it hurts like a bitch. And the aura around City Hall falls right before Ruth's turn.
Man, I sure
And
hope
now
Red
for
Tape can't
something
feel that.
entirely different.
Yep.
I think my plan was to knock down doors of her relatives, try and have conversations, and who would be the most receptive to, and not a terrible idea to give this contract to.
Honestly, I think the best thing Ruth could probably do is see if there's a niece or nephew who's like young and say, hey, just so you know, you have this contract, but if you want, I can instead give you this stuffed animal if you say that it's now ours.
Yeah, honestly, doing this with a small child is probably the best way to
Alright,
go.
so here's the thing I'm going to give Ruth because, fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, here are your options for who to contact right now with your action.
Okay.
We have Jake, who's her older brother who went and became a priest. Wait, younger brother who went and became a priest, sorry.
Okay, cool.
Her mother, Rose, younger sister, Phyllis, or other younger Phyllis is a housewife now. Or other younger brother...
Chad?
Chester.
Chester?
Oh, you're typing in the...
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Lex, is Chester Jitters' real name?
No.
That would have been amazing.
It would have
It
been,
would have been funny.
hilarious.
His real name's Charlie.
well, now the magic is ruined.
Now the intrigue's gone.
Here you go.
We can never look at him the same way again.
Wait, didn't you say that there was a sister who was a housewife?
You said Rose was the mother and Phyllis was the housewife.
Sorry, mistyped.
Okay, cool. It's totally fine and understandable. I just want to make sure.
Yep, and there's Rose, who is the sister who is a housewife. this is probably me being like, this name feels more mother. And also, I'm randomly rolling names real quick and assigning.
Yeah,
them
no,
people.
I don't blame you. You're fine. You're perfect. You're doing wonderful, sweetie. Decisions.
God
See,
damn
if the housewife has children, that would be the better choice. However, priests aren't allowed to own shit. So,
Is Ash does Foundry know Ashton?
Oh.
Factory worker.
yeah.
I mean, that's up to Nick.
I'm gonna say probably not directly, but probably could pull up information if need be. There's a lot of different types of factories.
All factories are the same.
Like
Probably not
those are my inclinations, but I don't. What's the party feeling?
Trust your instinct. It's led you this far. We have faith in Ruth.
That's a terrible decision.
Gotta have faith.
You think it's better to have faith in us chuckle fucks?
You know what? You're so right. Fuck. I'm really torn between the priest and the housewife. It
think
is moreover my thing.
I think it's the housewife is the correct decision.
My concern with the priest is that like he might be like, man, get this like weird devil shit out of here. And just like not engage with us at all if he like.
But then what if he revokes the claim?
Right, but he would have to take possession of it
And of it first. Okay.
And if he does, and if he says no before he takes possession, then we're just fucked.
Time to freaking talk to see if the housewife is cool. Let's go.
Okay. So Ruth probably approaches a little a decent house out in one of the Chicago suburbs. We're going to timey-wimey this and say it is at a reasonable time for someone to visit.
Yeah, fair.
Comes out, when it was like, actually, you look and you notice like the red tape has a mask, but like fairly different hair. Like redhead is a notable thing, and she's just like fairly standard blonde. She's like, oh, hello, can I help you?
Hello. I'm with the paper, and I'm trying to get a couple opinions on the current school board system, and we're kind of taking some polls here.
Oh,
If you have a couple minutes.
Of course. Well, please come in. Would you like some tea, coffee?
Tea sounds lovely. Thank you.
Gonna go in. It's pretty well. There's a lot of things going on in this house. It's very eclectic.
Very much lived in.
Very much lived in. Very much you're like Ruth pokes around, and there are layers to all the things that. Actually, Ruth. Separately, from other things, can you give me either an otherworldly mythos or history roll?
Okay.
With some intellectual power.
Okay, so intuition and then untrained.
Then untrained.
Cool. That's a D4, correct?
Yep.
Cool. That is a 6.
That's a success with a minor twist. I think this one, Ruth basically notices that there's a lot of not Christian iconography around the house, but she's not, for the minor twist, she's not quite sure where this is from.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Okay.
It's not the stuff you've seen from Good Spirits. You know that much.
Okay.
And like, she goes and she brews a nice pot of pretty basic. She's like, okay, so what's the poll for the school board?
Trying to get the kind of average people's thoughts on and I just why did I go with this? Why was this the first thing I thought of?
In character or out of character?
Out of character. Just like say something. Say words. It'll be fine.
I will accept Ruth bullshits some stuff for a while if you want
Yeah,
to do that.
my thing very much is I'm going to kind of lead this as like, oh, well, there's a moral panic about something, so we wanted to get kind of like people's opinions on that and kind of try and use that as a springboard for like, oh, how does this person vibe check morally? Does like she seem very in tune with what her sister has been going with? Like, what are the vibes?
Okay, good roll. Vibe check morally is basically generally a decent person, a bit more on the. She feels like there ought to be more order in the world. Like she's really worried about this gang war that she read about in the paper. She's making sure that no one in her family goes anywhere near downtown, and she's been calling her sister, who works in City Hall, and says, "You really ought to not go there. It's dangerous." But one of the things that you get, along with the weird iconography around the house, is basically that she feels it's dangerous, and she feels that her poor older sister is trying to help everyone and trying to be too strong. A big vibe that you get is she has no idea. Like, she thinks her sister is still a lawyer in City Hall.
Yeah, that seems correct.
And, like, she's not really, well, on one hand, people say it isn't a woman's place to do that. On the other hand, is that really accurate? I mean, she graduated, she got the job, but...
Oh no, I completely understand. My mom used to work at the DA's office before she retired, and the amount of time she had to fix paperwork from all the other people who were supposed to be more experienced and know all that. Ridiculous, honestly.
Mm-hmm. She gets some, like... One of the things that you do get is, over the course of the conversation, has some weird thoughts about, like, which place you're supposed to sit in the room, where the furniture ought to be arranged, how to, like, she does something with her tea leaves that Ruth just honestly probably goes, what? Like, peers down at them for a bit, looks back up, is like, oh, it should be a good day.
Do you do some kind of fortune telling?
Oh wait, I wouldn't call it that. It's just something that, well, mother used to say helped, and Marissa, always thought it was stupid. But I find it helps calm the mind and cleanse the soul.
Mm. I mean, who can fault you for trying to find peace of mind in these types of times, honestly?
Mm-hmm. But so there was another question you had.
Sorry, did you say something? Discord cut out for me for a second.
Oh, she says, yeah, she's basically going to make a lot of niceties and try and avoid going into woo unless Ruth pushes for it.
Oh, Ruth is pushing for it. Of course she is. I think she'll like get rebuffed, like the of Phyllis kind of like going off once and being like, oh, okay. But if she of like, oh, I'm gonna pick at it this time, and it's like, oh no, okay, we're gonna try and see if she says anything about it.
Give me a second. I have to check something with roommates.
All good. So that's on how powers came about. Let's place them in the chat now. How we feeling?
I'm back. So she goes, well, dear, let me take a look at your cup for a second. Oh, wait, finish drinking this first.
All right.
All right, turn it upside
Quickly down. Here you are.
And she looks at Ruth's tea leaves for a second and goes, oh. I'm not sure how to say this, but are you haunted?
I mean, honestly, probably.
I'm so sorry.
It's like you think haunted and cursed and that sort of thing, and it's like, you know, immediately there's a lot of bad things happening, and then it's really overwhelming, and that sort of thing, and then like you just kind of get used to it. It becomes like the new normal, you know?
I don't really know, but I'm terribly sorry if that's the case. If I could do anything to help, I would, but I mean, this is all I do, really.
How and what exactly is it that you kind of do with that?
Well, you can see your future in the tea leaves. She goes into an in-depth explanation of this that probably Ruth goes, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
You're using a lot of words that I'm not sure you're using correctly here, and I feel like you have a different meaning for these words than necessarily what I associate with these words.
Exactly. But one of the things that Ruth does get is, in some of the weird conversations the rest of Terminal has had, some of those words have cropped up on occasion.
Oh, joy! Excellent.
And you're pretty sure she's using them wrong, but she knows them.
That is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
This is, yeah, well, I'm not really very good at it. You'd have to ask my mother if you want to know more, but... It doesn't look like you're going to have any problems in the future. It's just a It's just an omnipresent danger.
No, that tracks. That honestly tracks. As you were saying, Chicago's fairly dangerous nowadays, whether you like it or not. And
Oh no! I don't
given
mean
my
that type of danger. I just put her hand over. Just I mean the danger of the soul and the world of the spirits.
oh god, my mom's gonna be so miffed. Well, that is entirely different than what I was originally thinking. Not good. Well, that's a thing.
I'm certain there are ways past this, though many people do not recognize them. She's going to give Ruth some recommendations for things to burn in her house and also like weird concoctions to drink.
Excellent. I'm going to take maybe none of this advice, but I'm going to take notes on it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The follow-up will be terrible, but the notes will be so good.
Yep.
The power of a university student.
Really.
Yeah. So I suppose here's the question, Ash. Is Ruth going to get to the main bring up the main topic, or gracefully make an exit?
I think gonna skirt around how much do you believe I think this segues into oh, how much do you believe in Fae and that sort of thing, because you're talking about your culture and now I'm going to talk about my Irish culture type deal thing.
She's like, oh, is that what you call the spirits from your part of the world?
I mean, yeah, the Fae tend to be kind of more trickster spirits, honestly, but it depends, because sometimes they're very ordered and contracted sort of things. Like their stories about being, particularly clever with Fae and that sort of things.
Maybe one of them is the source of this. But no, it's I mean, there at least for one, there's the house spirit who we give thanks to. There are the spirits of the food. There's the spirits of the fire who allow us to cook. There are the many gods, who it is a challenge to remember to pray to each of them. She's definitely fused several different myths and such together from Ruth's perspective.
I'm catching that so much, and I love you for it.
I wonder what her priest brother thinks of all this blasphemy.
I get the feeling all the siblings split for very different reasons.
Yeah.
True.
I'm
Yeah,
curious,
so true.
To be a fly on the wall at Thanksgiving.
Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Thanksgiving is the most boring thing because they all don't talk about any of the things they fight about every other time.
Yeah, no, that's the way you do it.
It's a completely silent.
Oh no! Everyone just talks about work and sports and nothing else.
God. Oh my god, that's that's Thanksgiving.
Can we please just bug all of their houses with Foundry's tech?
We really should. It'd be funny as shit.
It would, though.
I think I'm just gonna. Oh, sorry.
Just send the red tape a letter every week saying what her family's talking about.
Okay, that's actually pretty horrible.
That's psychological warfare right there.
I think we'd actually be supervillains at that point.
Yeah.
Honest?
Next campaign, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, well, the last thing that I'm gonna kind of do with this is kind of see of oh well, but if you have the if you have the power to like have honestly this girl is giving so many red flags. Do I continue? Oh, I thought it's like a hypothetical question. If you had the power of a contracted god, what would you do with it? But honestly, from the conversation, it sounds very much like it's a 50-50 of I'm going to do the exact same thing that my sister would do, or, well, there's so many spirits and so many gods, like, you need to pay respects to them, so, like, having a contract would be bad, just in general.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna gracefully leave.
Yep. Ruth is going to she's going to thank you. She's going to remind you that you need to make sure to burn lavender in the morning, and
Again, taking such diligent notes.
yep.
I'm really interested to see the rest of the family. This is terrible.
Second round of red, everyone.
I feel like it's appropriate to hand this off to Foundry again, considering what he's about to do. Unless
Oh, God.
you don't want that.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, the plan is basically get me a train and spawn it inside the vault and just take everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we might as well resolve that first and then just kind of yeet me into the train realm until we have a plan.
I mean, I think there's nothing stopping us from getting the contract now and then just taking it to whoever we want later. So we could just make that roll now.
Yeah, that's true.
The biggest problem
All right.
The biggest
Foundry.
problem of holding onto the contract for long periods of time is her trying to get it back, and Gwen choosing to honor it anyways because he's honorable.
Well, yeah, we don't want to do this for more than like a couple hours, ideally.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But if you've pulled the power source at this point, this is the time to take it.
Yeah. So let's just take it and then we'll deal with the repercussions in a bit.
All right. Dad, give me a stealth roll to not leave traces.
All right. Well, I guess I'm glad I saved some stuff.
Because you're getting the contract either way. This is easy. The question is, do you get found out?
Can I use my inventions to help erase any trail?
Yes.
Okay. Would this be more of a creativity thing or a blue collar thing?
Neither.
Okay. D4 it is.
Use a principle. Use a principle.
I mean, I'm not sure which. I guess I'm using inventions. I can use Gearhead.
Oh yeah. And just describe what you're trying to use inventions for to cover your tracks of getting into her vault without
basically
opening
like
the door.
anytime I see a footprint, like basically like vacuuming up any footprints, like making sure I don't get spotted. That sort of thing, just like erasing any physical trace that I've been there, and also just keeping in mind that like my powers do seem to be magical in origin, so I should definitely not be using my magic at all now that the core has been stolen or removed, rather. Okay, so then I'm just gonna use my +3 because like.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Oh, good thing I used the +3. So that's a 6.
I'll negate his twist.
All right.
Yay.
Mr. C has negated the twist by pointing out that Foundry left a couple of, he vacuumed everything up, and then behind the invention, shed a screw at one point.
One of the trains just sucks up a screw.
Yeah, I sent a cleaning train in after it.
Yep. All right. So, You have the contract along with a bunch of the books the Red Tape borrowed and a few other things that seem to be akin to the magical contract but are not that.
Okay.
You look at it, it's a weird thing in Gaelic and probably close it.
Yeah, that means exactly nothing to me.
Can we just make a copy of it and put it back in the vault?
She'll know.
Quickly?
When you
We
touch
don't-
the actual contract, you can feel the thrum of power within it.
Yeah, she would know immediately.
The safe is still left there, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, we didn't take the safe. We just took all of the stuff in the safe.
Does she check the contract each day that I've been there?
She usually checks the safe each day, but like it's usually more of a cursory, are things still in place or I need to add something to it.
I mean, we can get that contract back there if we can get it used up. Pretty trivially.
Yep.
True.
And I'm sure
Okay.
Sean can then spin a story of just like, yeah, no, you've had me for 3 days. The time limit is up.
Mm-hmm. But you now have the contract and a bunch of other random crap, but mostly the contract.
Okay.
And okay, and the only people who are left are me, Boogeyman, and Good Spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And we have
Oh no,
three
Ruth is here. Ruth finished out the first round of red. She hits an action in the second round of red.
why is she in the bottom of the tracker?
She's not. Foundry's on the bottom of the tracker.
Your thing might have not loaded, would be my guess.
I'm reloading the page. All right. So yeah, using the walkie-talkies once we leave train space. Just like Foundry has succeeded with the extraction. Click.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to do something next?
I mean, what is there to do right now?
We have to find somebody else to take the contract and say that it's
Pick
complete.
one of the family members and get them to use the contract.
I will say over the line of, so okay, I've looked into the younger sister. She's insane, but like not dangerous insane. I don't think it's a good idea, and I think for this similar reason, probably not her mom either. There's still the younger brother, 2 younger brothers to look into.
I mean, I could be funny and go talk to the priest.
Do it.
Go for it.
Oh.
Go for it, Rocco.
no.
I'll look into the to the factory worker, I guess.
Oh no.
This
I
will
kind of
only
would
go
suggest
extremely
someone
well.
talking to the mom.
See,
Because
I
I'm
would-
interested to see how it would go, but
Just to see if you're available, you could talk to Rose.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess I'll talk to the mom.
All right, which of you is going
Excellent.
first?
Who wants? Anybody want to go first, or just want me to do it?
If you're excited, go for it. Go off.
I mean, I'm not excited for this, but because here's the thing: if I show up at the mom's house, one persona or another, she's gonna know,
Okay.
and she's gonna be able to track it back to me.
Okay, so maybe we'll do that last.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have no better
Can
option, I think you guys should go first.
Wex, can I put you on the spot because I really want to see you talk to the priest?
Oh, this is gonna be funny. Yeah, I'm down for this.
Yeah, I want that. Thank you.
So the
I think well, no, I think I've got to go. What's the best identity for this, guys? Is it Rocco or the Boogeyman?
I think Rocco.
I think Rocco goes to confession.
Oh,
Actually, yeah. Actually, yes. That is 100% how this plays out.
Funniest decisions we could do.
The Italians tend to be Catholic, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
aggressively Catholic.
Yeah, the Italians
Oh,
are
good.
aggressively Catholic.
We haven't had enough of Daredevil like Catholic boy guilt in this game. Let's do this.
All right. Yeah, like, you know what church he's a priest at?
Time to go to confession. It's been a while since I've been in a church.
Mm-hmm.
I will take a little breath before I walk into the church, and then just make sure I didn't burst into flame before continuing.
You did not, in fact, burst into flame.
Don't touch the holy water.
I don't know what that would do.
Don't gargle with holy water.
All right, I'm gonna go to confession.
And you're going to. This is going to be me being honest. I do not actually know how this actually works.
Nick, do you think I do?
No, but I suspect we have at least 2 players who have any idea.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been a lifetime since my last confession.
There you go.
Thank you, Izzy. That.
Thank you.
I only know what I've seen in movies.
Yeah, like, I'm a very lapsed Catholic. Izzy's the one you actually want to ask about that stuff.
Same for very lapsed Catholic.
How do you not have things just memorized into your soul from going to school for so long?
As opposed to me and Nick, who are of the Jewish family background, so not a lot of experience with this.
It's actually worse for me. I am technically of both Catholic and Jewish family background until the age of 6, where my parents decided, screw all of this. We're going to none of them.
Tell me your sins, my child.
Well, me
Hold on.
and I believe most of my guys.
I'm willing to let Izzy be the priest for the initial confession bit.
All right, I'm down with that. Let's do it. All right. Well, it's been a while since I've been here, Father. Whew. Got a couple things to get off my chest if you're listening.
Of course, my son. The Father is always forgiving. Just present your penance with an open heart.
I hope you don't mean that too literally. Anyways, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Only the 3rd weirdest confession he's had this week.
So I don't know, Father. I got a bit of a question for you.
Yes.
What's the most good a person can do with their actions? Like, if you're given a choice that might hurt some people but helps a lot of others, or to not hurt someone but it results in a lot of people getting hurt, what's the right choice to make?
I'm throwing the baton back to Nick on this one. I don't know what this guy's internal motivation.
Yeah, I know.
So Nick,
Like, what is the most good you can do?
Because I'll be honest, Father, I've done some bad things in the last couple months, couple years even. Didn't mean to, but I hurt some people. And even though I knew what I was doing, but I think it helped a lot of people too. Because they were not good people that I hurt. They were evil men who wanted to inflict pain and suffering on others. Does that make me a bad person, Father?
Nick, are you taking this? Or
I'm taking this. I'm thinking. It's like, it is no good thing to hurt people, even in the defense of others. It is truly for the Lord to be the judge there. But I must ask you, these people that you hurt, was it to save others from being harmed by them?
Every time.
Man is born in sin, and sin can be forgiven. And if you have hurt others in the defense of innocence, of the weak, then you have done good.
Yeah.
But
I sometimes wonder if God will forgive me for that. There's a lot of sin on my soul, Father. A lot of it.
God is merciful. If you come to him, are honest with what you have done and seek repentance, then there is a path to salvation for all.
Let me ask you something, Father. One of the things I always remember from Bible readings when I was a little kid was the idea of choice and freedom. That man makes the choice to sin, right?
Yes?
What if man didn't have that option? What if man had choice taken away from him and he was good, but he could only be good because divine will said he had to be? Would that be good in the world? Would that be an ultimately good thing?
Afraid I don't know exactly what you mean. A man always has a choice,
But what
even
if he
if it is
didn't?
the choice to do nothing.
But what if he didn't? What if something else with great power forced him to be good? Forced him to not have a choice, to make the choice. He couldn't make a choice at all between good and evil. Simply being good, whether he wanted to be or not. Is that good or is it evil? Philosophy battle.
Yep. Like, to deny someone else their actual choice as a matter of philosophy is a great evil. I do not. There is no being that should be capable of doing so. Choice is always your own, even if it's the choice to do nothing. And though it may hurt, though in some cases it may result in one's own death, it is better to fight against evil than to give in. If there is something you think is forcing you, there are people who can help.
Oh, I give a little chuckle. Oh, I know, Father. Let me ask you something. You believe everything you just said? Like, truly believe it? Would you
I do.
act on that, given the choice, to save people's free will?
I
Even if
do.
it was, you do that even if it was someone who thought they were doing good by taking that choice away?
Absolutely.
Out of character, guys. You mind if I get a little dramatic with this?
Go ahead.
Fuck
I
it
can go
up,
for it.
Buttercup, please.
I'm like, in that case, Father, I think you are just the person I'm looking for. You want to put your money where your mouth is?
You're gonna phase through the.
What are you speaking about?
What out of character? What's his relationship to the red tape again?
Younger brother.
Younger brother.
How well do you? What's her name? Marissa.
Marissa.
Yep.
How well do you know your sister, Marissa? Father. And don't freak out. I know that I shouldn't know that, but I do, and I promise you, despite what may happen in the next few minutes, I am a friend.
I do not see eye to eye with my sister in many regards. I know she's a good woman. She has done her best to help our family, help the city. She refuses to attend any of my services and thinks me a fool for my belief. But
Well, I'll tell you this, Father, your belief is more real than anything she thinks. I know that personally.
I would ask you to hold your tongue.
Apologies, Father. Didn't mean to insult.
Despite our differences, my sister is a good person who has tried to do good in the world.
I agree with that. What if you knew she had the power to take the free will from people, as I described, and the will to act on it? Would you believe me if I said she would be willing to do such a thing?
I do not believe that is possible. Will is a great gift that has been given to man.
Let's
No one
assume for a
can
minute.
do so.
Let's assume for a minute it is possible that someone, anyone in this world, could have a power, be it divine or something worse, to take away the will of others. Do you think that your sister is the type of person who would act on that power? That if she had it, she would take that choice away from people? And be honest, Father, we both know God's watching.
He takes a rather deep breath. I have already said I do not believe this is possible, but I do not believe that she would do so, even if it were.
When was the last time you saw her, Father? Honestly.
Last Christmas.
Timeline-wise, would she have been red taped by that point? This is me asking.
Oh, absolutely, she would have been red taped by that point.
When was the last time you had a real talk with her, though? Actual talk about what she thought and what she believed.
If you're implying that she has been tempted by some fell entity, then I will need to be involved. As for likely several years. Most conversations have not been around that since
Since
something
the war?
that is a personal matter.
Well, I think unfortunately,
If you know that no matter the means She is still my sister no matter what. No matter the means that she came into this world or our family.
I'm not questioning that, Father. I know how important family is. It doesn't mean they can't make dumb decisions. And we make the dumbest decisions of all when we think we're doing them for the right reasons. Your sister does have the power to do what I've said, because there's a lot about your sister that you do not know, Father. A lot about your sister you do not know. You seem like a good man. Not just a man of God, but a good man from what you've talked with me about. I'd like to ask for your help in preventing a great evil from happening from the best of intentions.
You will need to explain what it is you're talking about.
Sure. Why not? How about we take a little, you up for a train ride? I got all the time in the world.
Forgive me if I'm skeptical.
You want proof?
The confessional is already inside of a train.
And when we step out, I'm going to become the boogeyman.
I think it's a terrible strategic decision, but you do you, man.
You
It's a
see
hilarious
the
decision outside
most
of that.
conflicted look on his face from this.
Now that I'm in something a little more comfortable in my own skin, let me tell you a story, Father. And believe me, it's one hell of a tale.
Oh my god.
And
This is the worst plan.
I think
Nope,
this
this
is
is
the
great.
point where we
I'm
cut to
making good
someone else, but
I'm making good choices.
Did you
Weren't we going to also talk with another one of them?
did you miss the lore drop Nick just gave us?
What?
Don't keep going. Keep
Yeah,
going.
no, we're fucked because of that. But
thank you,
Yeah.
Izzy. Thank you for noticing things.
yeah, no, we're completely fucked. But let's continue.
We can't deal with this. There's no way. But
Why?
continue.
Did I misjudge a situation here? Because
She's
I missed
adopted.
She's not from their family. The sister had different hair
Yeah.
color. And
We're
he just,
so fucked.
Oh.
We're so fucked.
see, I was gonna guess super baby at first, but adopted does make more sense because everybody's normal.
My first thought was a fair until I remembered which one would be worse for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was a little concerned when the attention was drawn to the red hair, but
Well, that doesn't. Hold on. I guess by the literal law, Gwyn did tell us the truth then.
Does anyone want to talk to Phyllis?
We already talked to Phyllis.
You
We're
mean
not
Rose?
talking to her again.
No,
You mean-
you talked to Rose?
You flipped the names.
I
Rose
flipped
was
this.
the
Do
mother.
you want- Does anyone want to talk to Rose then?
I was going to go do that.
I pulled off a perfect heist, and this is going so wrong now.
Well, maybe if people planned ahead instead of leaving everything for the last minute.
I planned ahead on my part.
We only had the last minute.
Foundry has done
Well,
nothing
where?
wrong.
I gave you guys 3 days because I thought you guys could get it done in that time frame.
We thought we had it. We just learned she's adopted. That's a twist. If anything, Gwyn gave us far too technically by the letter of the law correct information.
He's a fae!
Okay, but wait. If he was listing relatives of hers, I think Gwen would still accept it.
No, because it has to be. It's It has to be the descendant of the person who originally had the contract, which means none of them would be valid.
Excellent.
Like,
do you want Mr. C to go next?
Well, hold on. We can maybe get information on her birth family if we're lucky. We can maybe salvage this.
maybe, but again, this is information the boogeyman needs to share with us.
I will share. I will absolutely share it with you, and I'm hoping based on the train ride, maybe Mr. C picks up some of it.
Well,
This is the part where Wex as a player doesn't always pick up on things.
Mr. C, would you like to go?
Oh my god.
I don't actually know if the mother is the right choice to talk to now. There's no way we're finishing this with just the three of us.
You could.
Yeah.
There's two people to talk to.
Yeah, I know. And again, if I talk to either of these people, she's gonna know I'm meddling because she knows my identity in and out of costume.
Do you want me to go first then, Izzy? And I can talk to the brother?
If you want to talk to the brother, sure. I mean, the other thought I had is, like, if the brother is a worker who actually likes a stiff drink, I can just show up with a fake mustache, compliments of capitalism, as the bartender and see if I can get information out of him. But you go first, Ruth.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to Jake. No, not Jake. Ashter. My apologies. Now I'm reading the list wrong.
Do we still want to? Never mind. You guys go. Sorry.
We don't have that information yet. I'm talking to Ashter.
All right, so I'm guessing Ruth is probably just going to show up after his shift.
Oh yeah, definitely. Gonna show up after his shift with a sandwich from a nearby deli and a beverage in a brown plastic bag, and be like, "You got a couple minutes to talk?"
He's gonna squint for a second. He's like, yeah, I got a couple minutes. What's up?
What angle do I want here? What angle? You know what? Fuck it. You're the younger brother of Marissa Rigby, right?
Yeah. What about it?
Oh, well, I was kind of hoping to do kind of a piece on her. Kind of get, and I wanted to get some words from relatives about it.
I mean, okay, that's... Squints at the press badge for a second. All right, so what do you want to know? I mean, gee, like, I know the rest of my family doesn't really want to say it, but what she's done, and, like, I notice, like, what she's done to help everyone out. It's real impressive.
Are you talking about like her work as a prosecutor, her more volunteer efforts, or are you talking about you, like personally, your family?
I mean, it's about City Hall. Like, she visits Ma all the time. She helped me get this gig. I didn't really know they were hiring. Then she, said to come by and tell them, and spring got a good job.
Mm.
Don't really know how we do this old wiring thing, but like, run the machines work. What do you want to know?
Would you well, life story stuff kind of would be nice. Like, what was she like growing up?
I mean, she took care of a lot of us. She was pretty strict. That was basically true the entire way through.
Mm.
Like, I don't know. I'm little, so she had this idea, and mom and dad had this idea of her going away to college because they thought she could do it, and she could. But before that, like, I don't know, she took care of me. Mom took care of me. Dad was always working. You
What did your
notice he's definitely being he's actively trying to be evasive, and as the interview goes, it's very strict older sister who tried to tutor him and like help out the little kids when she's, well, she's supposedly older than the other kids
mm,
by like a decent margin.
noted?
And basically tells the time of like he's the youngest. She's probably the oldest by something like 8-9 years to the next youngest. So like she was in her mid late teens when he had memories and was still helping out even when she was trying to go to school. It's mostly like a pretty happy, helpful story. And like he's obviously dodging things. Very notably from what Ruth probably figures out, he talks not at all about anyone's faith.
Yeah.
And like if anything question comes out about that, he deliberately avoids the point and tries to change it to something else.
I make like a small little comment of like, oh yeah, I mean, imagine that it must have been difficult with your dad always working. But I'm glad that like your mom and Marissa were able to like work together as a team in the household, even though like they didn't always agree on like core belief type things.
It's like, oh god, that's fucking. But please don't tell him about that. Like that's family business. Those fights.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's God. Everybody gets into those types of fights when they're growing up, unless they're like not actually talking to their relatives.
I mean, I don't think most people do.
I meant like fight, like arguments. Like it's not always like a big thing about religion, but like you can have different beliefs from your family members without like tearing it all apart type deal thing.
I mean, like, okay, Astra went one way, but like that's not what it was. It was about her dad. Shit. Please don't put that on the record.
Oh God, no. Honestly, let me level with you. The article that I'm being given is much smaller than I actually think that it should deserve, so I can't really fit in too much. I'm just trying to get kind of a clearer picture.
Look,
And nothing that you don't want written down is going to get written in the paper.
all right, look, don't do this. As far as I'm considered, if I ever see Marissa's dad, I'm gonna punch him, or maybe worse.
What do you do?
He ran and left mom.
Ah, fucking bastard. Wait, why'd you say Meredith's dad and not your father?
Because they're different. Because hers fucking ran, and ours stuck around. And he's not around anymore, but he didn't run. Mom doesn't even want to admit he's a fucking jackass and a bastard.
Yeah, they don't always want to do that.
But like I don't want it, like we don't want any of that to reflect on her.
Oh god, no. That shouldn't reflect on her, and honestly, it seems like you all have done a good job of making sure she doesn't think too hard about it.
Yeah. But no, so yeah, so like when I was he goes on to more like normal stories where he has less to say besides hearing about her at City Hall a bit when he was like an older kid / a younger teenager.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you got the important bit of info.
Yeah, is there any chance I can get the name of her dad from this kid? Does he know it?
Were there any other kids, or was it just her before he ran?
It was just her with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not that lucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the big thing that you wind up basically gives you is like, yeah, he fucking called himself John, and none of us believe that was his name. Like, we've looked up his name, it's not anywhere.
Yeah, that type tends to not always.
Yeah, so he lied to Mom, he lied to everyone. Mom has a picture, but I think, wait a minute, when did cameras get invented?
They've been invented.
They've been
They
around
have
for a
been
bit.
invented. Is it more? Are they like a thing that normal people would like get pictures in their home commonly?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
late
so.
1800s. No, like she has a picture. Mom's got a picture. If I ever see him, but I've never seen him.
God, I know know the feeling, Aster. I know the feeling.
Well, we'll bring it full loop. It's going to be Don Ferrano.
No,
I don't think so.
Absolutely
Probably not.
I will tell you absolutely not for that one for free.
It's going to be.
Thank you.
No, I
We
got
get
it.
that one for free.
Guys, it was capitalism.
I was gonna say it was Good Spirits.
I'm pretty sure I'd know that.
Would you
No, I
though?
know.
You're a cat.
That would be kind of funny though.
Like, there's a lot that Good Spirits does not pay attention to. I feel like that would remember.
Counterpoint, you weren't pissed drunk a lot of the
not
time.
Good Spirits.
Excellent, thank you.
We're getting so many clarifications on this. This is great.
Thank you. So many freebies. Excellent.
God, this is terrible.
I think I shoot the shit with Aster for a little longer. I do give him the sandwich and the obvious alcoholic beverage.
And he's gonna offer you some of the alcohol, but he is happy to shoot the shit once he realizes that Ruth is not a terrible journalist.
Yeah, no. I feel like after like a couple minutes, she's just like, all this fucking suck. I mean, like, and just kind of get on that track for a little bit.
Yep.
Anyways, I'll dip out eventually, and then I'll use the walkie-talkies and be like, well, I got some great news. That is terrible. The good news, Asher, really nice kid. Interesting news. Marissa isn't blood related to any of her siblings.
Well, she's half blood related.
Isn't full blood related to all of to any her fucking whatever that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking tired. Why do I do this to myself? And then just I'll do a recap of everything I've talked about, because yeah. Izzy, do you want the turn next, or should I give it to the cat?
I mean, I think the question has to become then, and this is a good spirits question, do we know if the claim came from her paternal side or maternal side?
Did we get the answer from that when we talked with Gwen?
You did not get the answer, but good spirits, I'm going to give this one to you for free. It's a claim from the mortal side.
What?
And can we confirm that her mom is not mortal?
You
It's
confirm the
sounding
rest
like
of her
her mom
siblings
isn't.
have no magic whatsoever.
Okay, so
Wait, her siblings have no magic, but she does. So the father's the supernatural one.
That seems to be the conclusion that
Yes.
would be
So if the
given.
claim is from the mortal side, then her siblings still count, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Okay, we just started panicking when we didn't need to.
See, I had the right idea. You all panicked.
yeah, I'm so glad we abducted a priest into trade space in a confessional.
And then you guys had just had a long, multi-hour in-character panic fest where you're like, oh, wait a minute.
I haven't.
It would have been perfectly fine if the elevator pitch hadn't suddenly been, also, I'm being demonic now.
Look,
I feel like the pitch was going pretty good until then.
Look, I'm still on the
I didn't
train.
say-
I don't know anything's gone wrong yet, and I'm talking to him on the train.
Yes, and you were doing a great job until you revealed that you were the boogeyman.
Yes.
I didn't feel like it would help us to be dishonest about this.
You have Infernal as a power source.
He
I
doesn't have any
understand.
ability to sense that besides being spooked. It's a question of what's telling him about his actual backstory.
I am mostly doing this to keep. It is important to me that Rocco stays hidden, for if the thing goes wrong, she won't be able to trace it back to me. She doesn't necessarily know I'm Rocco still, and that is currently an advantage.
Yes, but the boogeyman is currently dead.
Yeah, we knew we wouldn't be able to hide this for long.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I think with all the information we have then, so Sean, do you want to take it and we can just finish this off and you can go to the priest with Boogeyman and try to wrap this up? Or do you want me to
So
do that?
my plan is to try and do a little bit more of messing things at the mayor's office before we move on to anything else.
Okay.
That means Mr. C
Unless
has to
there-
bring the contract.
Because what?
Mr. C gets to bring the contract.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't think I get to really do much about the contract.
Mm-hmm.
You could do it at night. You're off the clock at night, and she cares a lot about the clock.
Yeah.
Okay. I also don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing at this point since you guys have been doing the interviews.
Yeah, I mean the two thoughts I have now are: do I just bring the contract and we get it over with, or two, do we go try to talk? Do I go try to talk to the mother? We've got this information and say, hey, what do you remember of Marissa's father? And if we can figure out who the hell that actually was. Though that's probably a problem for another day.
Like, if we can unwind the contract, that becomes a much less pressing issue.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what, Mr. Conductor will. I mean, Foundry's with me. I'm assuming there's no reason I can't take if you want to take you from one train to another, or you can just give me the contract and I will jump into Boogeyman and the Priest's train and have you on standby.
Yeah, I guess there's really no reason not to.
I'd say at this point you can drag the entire party there for conversation because timey-wimey ball.
I mean, at this point, our cover's blown. Where he's on a magic train talking to the boogeyman.
Yep.
That's true.
He also needed to be convinced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I will pull party together then. Anybody who doesn't want to come just doesn't get on a train.
Fair enough.
But costume up, and yeah, we will. The question is, do we need to activate the contract? It has to be in the mortal realm, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, okay then.
No,
We'll just stay on the train. So yeah, we're all back together on one of the trains, and
I've explained the situation to the priest in a way that is as honest as I can be, while not telling him too much about us other than what should be mostly public info.
Except that, like, we're not actually massive criminals.
He's
that
kind
part.
of torn between, like, skeptical and deeply flabbergasted at the very idea that a magic piece of paper could bind a person's will.
I mean, again, Stranger Things, Father.
and we deal in the Stranger Things.
But this does not make sense. Why would anything like this ever be allowed to interfere with people's choice?
From what we can gather, it's not. This is like a combination of things that shouldn't be happening. The guy who normally does this isn't. People have to kind of sign this stuff voluntarily. They make a choice to sign it. But because of the way the red tape is, she can it seems to have the ability to enforce her will on things as well. So it's like some weird combination of the two that's creating like a loophole in the system. Do I got that right, Tom?
And you're claiming that Marissa is the red tape.
Yeah.
How is he taking that?
As I said that earlier, yeah.
That seems ridiculous. She was impressive, but not that. The red tape flies through the air, can control gravity, but like...
Yep. I've seen her do all those things.
She has innate power that she does not recognize as for what it is.
And now there's a cat talking.
And he goes, that is a talking cat.
Yep. That it is. Like I said, I told you we're going to see some strange things today, Father.
Give me a... He's going to go pray in the corner for a little bit.
Yeah, that's
Priest
fair.
is the one you determined was the best pick, really?
He has a problem with free will being denied, all right?
I feel like while the priest...
You would be more comfortable with it if you heard I'm gonna be careful not to say satanic shot. I'm just gonna call her shot in front of the priest.
Stop halfway through my name, and I'm just like, okay. Yeah, honestly, there's not a lot of good options. The other one that would be a young factory worker, and I'm not sure he has much thought for himself, in all honesty.
Look, I've learned to trust my gut, all right? Yeah, it seems weird, but I think this is a good guy, all right? I think he wants to do the right thing. He just has to understand what's happening so he can make the choice to do the right thing.
You do realize we are ruining Thanksgiving for him this year.
That's your concern? Really?
It's the time when family's supposed to come together and enjoy being with one another.
In our defense, it sounds like their Thanksgivings have been messy for a long time.
I mean, literally all you have to do is bring up faith, and it's not going to be a good Thanksgiving.
Look, there's just going to be some grumbling from Good Spirits because of the fact that, like, he has he still has some feelings about the Ireland's conversion to Catholicism. Yes, it has been a couple hundred years, but he still has feelings about that.
Did St. Patrick really purge all the snakes from the island, or was that just a cruel metaphor for pagans?
Just going to look at you and fuck. I do have. I am going to let me look at which is the one potential demon or fae that Saint Patrick theoretically had to fight. It fought at one point. Along with, I will mention the dragon Olafest, since that's one of my favorite dumb myths, and I will just grumble about them.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the priestess started doing a full rosary in the corner upon hearing you grumbling.
So
And-
yes, there will be, when you read up St. Patrick, I'm going to complain about basically a Fey Lord, a dragon, and various other things with the druids.
Sean's random mythology knowledge coming in clutch yet again.
And every
Truly.
time. So
A Fey Lord, a
eventually,
dragon, and a druid walk into a bar.
eventually Asher is going to come back and basically, like,
You mean Father Jake?
sorry, Father Jake is going to come back and he's like, oh, okay. What is this magic you claim that my sister is working with?
Do we want to show him the contract?
I mean, he's already here.
We can show the contract and say that this is, and I will say that she is trying to determine how to make more of these so that she can bind anyone via contract.
Yeah, there's no point in being coy about it.
We'll show it to him.
He looks at it and roughly goes, is there any way I can trust you to translate this? That's definitely her signature.
Actually, you can make. Actually, yes, you can. Can't Good Spirits make a vow to translate it accurately?
If you believe, if you're willing to trust me, seeing as how you're the current holder of that contract, this is the accurate translation of it.
Like, I feel like he would ask you to swear on the Bible.
Go on, Sean.
You're not the boogeyman. Your hand probably won't melt off.
Go on,
It
Sean.
won't melt off, but there's the thing of just like.
I actually think that's worse for Sean to do than me.
Yes, absolutely.
Honestly, yeah.
Like,
Kid, it's like,
are you going to be ordering this via contract?
There is no contract, there is only faith and
would it
your
help
own
if one
dignity before the Lord.
would it help if one of us swears it for him?
I would hear it from
Like-
the one providing the explanation.
I don't know what I roll for this because I'm pretty sure my character is not. My character does not. It would not be willing to do that. I don't think unless it is an order from the thing.
Okay, guys.
Actually, wait. No, better yet. We
Cross your
can use
fingers
this as an
behind your
opportunity
back.
to demonstrate that the contract is a real thing.
That's actually a good point. It's like, all right, so listen. Talk about free will, right? And you believe that?
Yes, absolutely.
So, that cat over there, with all his heart and being, for reasons you may not believe, does not want to swear on that Bible. Not because he doesn't want to tell the truth, but because that's, for lack of a better term, not where he comes from. Fair enough? Fair assessment, spirits?
I think you are implying something far more that would be gay and interpreted as demonic from that, but yes, that is not my book, and I would not swear on it.
So, he does not want to do that. He's telling the truth about that. Tell him.
Think of it like he's Jewish.
Yes, excellent, good point. Actually, thank you. That's
The
a
cat
perfect
is just
analogy.
like kind of face palming.
No,
The
the
cat
priest
is
is also
Jewish.
face palming at that.
It's not the worst way to go about this.
No, I'm just
Is there
imagining
something that would be appropriate for the cat to swear
No.
upon that he would accept?
You could, but here's my point too. If you want to prove that contract works, command him to swear on the Bible.
I will not do that.
Appreciated. If you wish, I can swear on my my name, or moreover, my lords.
just digging a hole.
Swear upon your lords.
Okay. He going to. I don't know what would be the title for one of whatever Fey Lord that would be that good spirits would technically fall under,
I mean,
but
Oberon and Titania are always safe bets.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll go basically the. I swear on the names of Oberon and Titania, rulers of my kind. May they call upon the hunt upon me if I am dishonest with this. I will translate this contract for you fully and honestly.
He's going to look around for us, then look at the train car and just like, this is the strangest feeling I have ever had.
Pal, this is just another Tuesday for us.
I would
Speak
prefer
for yourself. Everything is still weird.
This is probably a weirder than average Tuesday. Let's be honest.
All right, fine. It's a Wednesday.
Thank you.
I would prefer this to be the only Wednesday I ever experience this.
Fingers
Well-
crossed, buddy. Fingers crossed.
So does spirits translate it for him?
He will accept that after the weird feeling in the air. And then just basically drop us as like, Marissa, what have you done? How can I destroy this?
You have it. And as
I will give the explanation, and the thing of the service when called upon is released after effectively a lifetime's worth of service, or when the contract holder says that the debt is forgiven.
You hold the contract. In theory, if you say that that's forgiven, it's forgiven.
He does have to sign it first, but he would be willing to do that for this. Like, sign, this debt is forgiven, please cease all of that. And with that, Wit of the Green Death, aka Good Spirits, is free from the Red Tapes contract.
Woo! We did it!
There's going to be a sign of relief from that.
Now,
Oh,
beyond that, Mr. Conductor, could you please drop me off? He's going to ask to be dropped off right in front of her house.
Fair enough. And look, you do what you got to do. Just know whatever you think. What I said in that confessional is true, Father. We are trying to help. And I think she is too, even if we don't agree on the best way to help people.
There's going to be some grumbling from good spirits of basically along the lines of, if you have further questions, I can answer them. The terminology I use versus the terminology you use, you might not like, but I begrudgingly like your kind more than others I've had to try and talk to about this subject.
You know, not good spirits, and at one point just look the boogeyman in the eyes briefly.
I'll meet his gaze.
Forgiveness is always there. Salvation is always there. You need to accept what has been done and move to a better life. I believe this is a choice you have already made.
I'll be honest, Father, I worry more about where my soul goes after I'm done with my work here. But I appreciate it.
Redemption and salvation are always within the grasp of everyone. You have to accept that yourself and live a virtuous life.
Not sure that's a luxury I can afford, but I'll keep it in mind.
Going to nod
Thank
and
And amen, Father.
amen. Till assuming Mr. C drops him off, exit the train.
Yeah,
You
I will.
guys
I will drop. What time am I dropping him off at?
probably like 7, 8 p.m.
Oh, so she's there.
Yeah,
Should we put everything back?
Probably.
I'm guessing it is likely to not matter, but
Well, what
we
was the
can.
what was the other crap in there?
Yeah, what did you guys steal?
I mean, yeah.
A bunch of the like proto contracts they were attempting to make, and the books that you took out of the library.
I mean, we can quickly read through those books.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything of value before we put it back.
So you remember all those library books about weird contracts and such that I mentioned were missing from the library?
They're all
Yeah,
here.
the ones that I was trying to find in order to loophole this earlier, that's where all of them are.
Yes.
Yeah, not
And-
surprised.
Yeah, and if I'm remembering correctly, not all of those are accurate. It's just anything.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean,
Can-
it doesn't. We can put everything. We should put everything back, but she knows we have the contract.
Yeah, that's fine.
The other thing we should do, is we should reactivate the barrier source so she doesn't know we know where it is and how to circumnavigate it.
Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fair point. That does mean I need to extract myself manually, but we can make that work.
I mean, that should be fine.
It's easier to get out of a locked building than it is to get into one.
It's true.
Like
Yeah,
literally, go to the roof.
Other question with timey-wiminess, could there be one other attempt at sort of sabotaging the progress before this all happened?
Sure. Give me another overcome.
Okay.
Go, little cat
And
boy,
we'll
go.
finish up after this because people have to sleep.
Yep.
Yep. It feels like we're almost done though.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to use no really fuck fate for this? And fuck fate for the ones that I kind of built up related to the contract?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to be taking a +6 on this. you know what? I will also spend 1 hero point, so this is a +9. I am not sure if I get away with a principal for this. Because
Not really from what you've given.
yeah, there's a certain thing I want to see if I can get away with. Okay, that is an 11.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh
you
wait, I get
continue.
reroll the lowest die. I get reroll the lowest die, which is a D10.
You can.
So that
Yeah.
is
There's a
that
14.
is a 14. I would want to the thing I would want to be trying to do is going over like with some examples of kind of the of like existing contracts that she probably has with her employees.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to try and get something that with the employees and the separation of their personal and private likes and professional lives to make it so she cannot go after Mr. C's civilian identity or his family.
I think that is a perfectly reasonable thing to get with that amount of success.
Yeah, because she doesn't know who the rest of us are, just Mr. C.
Yeah. So I would want to, through those contracts and things like that, accidentally make it so she cannot go after Mr. Conductor when he is at home with his wife and kid.
Oh, I have already established I'm probably not doing that until we resolve everything here, but I appreciate that.
I
But at
know
least,
you have established that, but I'm going to let you know that you can visit your family.
it protects Carl.
Yep.
It protects Carl. It means that you can show. Maybe you aren't going to be visiting all the time, but you can still stop in and say hi, go to family dinner, etc.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm going to say,
All right.
looking at you, Tamarin, Lord of Chicago, because I believe your name has now changed back.
Not yet. He still has another
Not
sunset
yet,
for
but
that.
but soon.
All right.
Close
well,
enough. We can change the timing of this conversation to be then.
Yeah. One crisis averted.
Yep. And for the sake of people who need to sleep, I think this is where we're going to call an end. Thank you all.
Okay.
Yep. Now we need.
I loved your guys' panic mid-session where I'm like, no, guys, you are assuming the worst case scenario and it's not true.
Is it so wrong of us to assume the worst case scenario, though?
If we'd just gone along with my obliviousness, everything would have been fine.
I do want to follow up on who her father is
Yeah,
for the
no.
sole
Oh, yeah.
purpose of figuring that out.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, but
okay,
that's a next session problem.
it's not Zeus, we know that.
Well, we have a couple next session problems.
That you do.
Do we?
I have unfinished business I need to take care of.
Well, so the main stuff I think is still split into two. It's our problems are the red tape and the mafia.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure the red tape though. But, okay, but realistically, what do we do about the red tape? We can't fight her. She's technically a good guy. Like, to battle her is to like prove we're villains.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is anything we can do at this point, but we have to be acutely aware she is going to be coming for us now.
Right,
She will know we did this.
It's also
Yes.
very easy for her to go off the slippery slope based off her ideas,
Sure, but
her
again,
ideals, and how far she's willing to take them.
but
But
again,
until
based on
she
her
does that,
yeah, this is a choice. This is a, as the priest said, it's a choice. It has to be
Yeah.
her choice to do that, and then we will react to it. But until then, even if we don't agree, she's on our side, or she's at least on the same side of good we are, even if it's absolutely doing it the wrong way. I'm more
Yeah,
concerned.
no.
that is fair.
About
There's
the
some follow-up stuff.
mafia.
there's follow-up stuff that I need to do with Gwen, the mob, and probably a few other follow-up things I'm going to need to do. I do not know how much of them Nick will want to do off screen.
Whereas
Because
I'm
some of
worried.
it is I think I am going to actually have to sit through formal training with Gwen.
See, for me, I've deferred this long enough. I think I need to go save my daughter.
Yeah, no.
I think I have protected the city. I've stopped the gang war. I need to make sure my little girl is safe.
That is reasonable.
And I think that's my next goal, whether you guys want to help me with it or not.
I don't think that's a question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I figured
no.
it wasn't, but
I feel like
I'll deal with Felix later, but I want to get her to safety first.
And
I don't know if those two things will be separate, is the thing.
They may not, but my focus has changed from revenge on him to protecting her. And I'm going to make sure I do that.
And that, I'm going to end the recording. See you
Bye,
next
Hooray.
week, everyone.
By recording.
night
Bye,
recording.
recording.
Yeah.
And good night, guys. I gotta hop
Good
off.
night, Dan.